Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Ready Steady Play. It's cold in here, isn't it? Because we're playing Frostpunk, the board game. How's everybody doing? So there's a lot of people in chat, actually. This is obviously something people are keen to see. Um, and I don't want to disappoint you right off the bat, but I'm just playing like the baby Frostpunk. You know how the rulebook's like, there's a whole scenario book, but for this one you're just gonna set up the crater, a new home scenario, and we're gonna walk you through that, and we're just gonna do that. That's what I'm doing. So, for the sake of transparency, I've played Frostpunk one time. I learned it from the rulebook. I played it one time. I played for about 5 hours. I think I got about 8 rounds done, and then we completely lost morale. I mean, I was dead set on sickness just incapacitating everyone and then losing by one of many ways to lose. But in fact, it was morale that hopelessness that got us in the end. Difter says that's how Frostpunk goes, and Darkmind says have fun as you like. And it's good to see T. Carters and Heggers and Steven here in chat as well. Thanks everyone for joining me. And yeah, of course, well, I will not. I'm not gonna do a review or anything of Frostpunk. I, to be honest, have not played nearly enough Frostpunk to even start reviewing it. So for this session, this is just gameplay. I don't know if we'll be able to get the scenario done. They're quite long, so this might even be part one of a two-parter. We'll see. But we're just going to get as much done as we can, and I thought, we might as well get started. And as we get started, I have 2 bits of a little administration to do. Number 1 is... Boom! Game Topper! This is filmed on a Game Topper. It's played on a Game Topper, which Game Topper gave me to play on. This is the Mycroft, and quite frankly, I don't know how I would have set this game up without it. It's enormous. It takes up huge amounts of space. I actually have the Mycroft set up here, and I've also got, to be fair, there's also camera equipment on the table. So, little caveat for Frostpunk, there is camera equipment on the table. But, even so, I do have a top-down camera. It's 4K, it's wide angle, it can't get the whole game in. So there's a bunch of stuff that's just over here on a table. That's Frostpunk. It's enormous. It's like 7 boards plus an entire game board. But anyway, thank you so much to Game Toppers for enabling us to do this with their Game Topper. The other thing is I'm going to put on the official Frostpunk soundtrack in a minute, I think, from Spotify. I just wanted to wait until I started talking to do that, so hopefully they won't claim all the rights to this video. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll see if they do that. The thing is, they put the music in the app, which is free to download. So I'm just going to assume that they've allowed for a Creative Commons license for YouTube. Fingers crossed. So we'll see. Hey, and Chris is here. Chris has shown up for Oathsworn, and it's not happening. Unfortunately, we were going to do Oathsworn tonight. Unfortunately, it couldn't happen. But we are doing Frostpunk instead, which is here thanks to the Patreons. This was their Patreon vote for the month. This and more ISS Vanguard. Barry and I did Vanguard earlier in the month, so now I'm doing Frostpunk. And as you may know, Frostpunk is a 1 to 4 player game, but I think it's really kind of a solo game. Having played through it a bit already, I think there is a attempt in the game to meter out rules to people and sort of reduce the rules overhead by giving each person a very specific set of instructions to follow, and so they feel like they've got some responsibility, something that they're doing, etc., etc. But I don't think there's... The thing is, what it kind of meters out is responsibility for administration, and it doesn't really meter out the decision-making, and I feel like the decision-making needs to be extremely aligned in this game. So you kind of need to have a strategy, a plan. Every decision needs to be furnishing your sort of end goal, which is to survive and essentially manage all these things that are working against your survival, which, if you don't know, it's post-apocalyptic Arctic winter. Nuclear winter? I don't know if it's nuclear winter. It's post-apocalyptic winter, and everything's covered in snow, and so we're fighting off sickness from the cold weather. We're trying to stay warm in the cold weather. We have to eat. We need resources to produce food and heat. We are dealing with social issues that arrive in our settlement, arise in our settlement. So you're kind of managing all of these different things, and you need different resources and things to make sure that those aren't getting out of control and ultimately losing you the game. Because you can lose the game through, I think, something like 6 or 7 different means. The generator that creates the heat can explode. Everyone could starve to death. Everyone can get just overwhelmingly sick, so everyone dies of sickness. You can have too many corpses piling up because you're not dealing with the dead. You can lose if you lose all of your hope. You can also lose if discontent rises too high. So people can become either too fighty or too apathetic. But the yeah, so the thing is, when you're making decisions in the game, it kind of, every decision, like, you know, particularly in the action phase, and in the moment action might be go and get resources or build a building or something like that, but all of it is to try and manage all of these different factors that are impacting your settlement. And so, you know, everything kind of needs to be in concert, so everything needs to be deliberated. So I think it could work quite well as a 2-player game where, you know, you're just kind of making every decision together, discussing things and working stuff out. But I think with 4 people, I don't know. I think it would feel a little bit like hard for everyone to have a meaningful input. But anyway, Hager's making jokes about the state of Britain at the moment. I almost put that in the episode title, and then I decided better not. You know. Yeah, just to be clear, this is not England Simulator 2024. I did it in the end. I made the joke. So, yeah, with that in mind, I've set up most of the stuff. Let's go check out the table camera over here. Oh, I spoiled it. Look, I've got the app. The app is here as well. We're going to be using the app to track rounds, and that's it. I managed to get the app on screen. I'm not using an emulator. I'm actually just casting my phone onto the computer because the emulators I kept downloading for Google Play Store all sucked, and I hated them. So yeah, we've got basically the thing set up here. As you can see, I'm not using the generator right in the middle of the board because it's impossible to see anything at the back here. What I have got is the generator over here with a little table camera, or my little camera here pointing at it, so we can drop cubes in there. But we've got a few more bits to set up, which is primarily the randomization of the available technologies. I have to put out the expeditions as well. The randomization of the available laws, and also we have to pick an advisor, and I think that's about it, actually. We have to deal ourselves a hand of citizens, and I have no idea where these are going to go, to be honest. As you can see, I've tried to fit everything on screen, but I've got massive amounts of stuff off screen as well. So anyway, we've got our starting people here in the middle of the town as well. Maybe I can move this camera over so you can see how we've done that. This is, I think this is in the rule book. It says you can set it up like this. Oh yeah, the other thing I haven't set up is the I've done the tokens. So around the outside of the board, you've got these little I don't know what they're called, landmark tokens or something, that are telling you there's coal in the cliffs over here. But you have to put out some land tiles as well on the starting setup, which I haven't done yet. So we'll do that in a minute. So basically I kept the randomized elements and the decision-making elements of the setup for the live stream. Right. And also, you're supposed to put out all these law cards to create like a tableau of laws that you can purchase. That's not happening. There's not nearly enough space, so I don't know what we'll do about that. We'll just figure it out as we go. I'll explain everything anyway as we're moving along. So with that in mind, I think we're just going to start by putting out some tiles. David says, how long is the average setup time? This was not too bad because I set up the basic situation described in the rulebook. I think if I was playing a different scenario, but you know, it's still, I mean, the thing is, David, I'd say the setup time, if you were really good at it, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes maybe, but also that's provided you have adequate table space. It takes me longer because I have to figure out what the cameras can see, but it also also if you had limited table space and you had to sort of decide how to figure that out, that might take you longer as well. The other thing is, though, I think it's a really long game. Like, I don't know how fast Paul plays it. I know Paul was super hyped for this game. He's done the official rules video, which will be coming out at some stage, and he worked on the rulebook as well, I think. And I don't know how fast Paul can play a scenario of this. It does depend on how quickly you lose. There's quite a lot of random chance in the game, so that could be quite quickly. It took me about 4 or 5 hours to lose as I was learning the game, but I had to look a lot of stuff up as well as I was going. So, and I'd say I probably got about halfway through that scenario, but hopefully this will be a lot quicker. Having said that, live streams with cards tend to go longer, just because we have to look at the cards and read them together. But with that in mind, oh yeah, I haven't set up the starting social disruption either, so more on that in just a minute. But and the other thing is I am playing with the miniatures expansion, which is just miniatures for the buildings and the meeples. So there was 2 sort of sets of these physical things. The core game doesn't come with any, so you've got meeples in the core game, and then the buildings are just these tiles like this. And then there was a Timberland expansion, which provided wooden bits, and a miniatures expansion, which provided miniatures, little plastic miniatures. So you can have little buildings on the board that make it look like there are buildings there. And this is just purely an aesthetic upgrade. I went for the miniatures. It just felt a bit more sort of post-apocalyptic and grim, which is very much the nature of the game. Meeples to me are like my happy place. When I see all the little wooden tokens, I'm like, everything is good and well. And that's just not the vibe of this game. Speaking of which, shall we try and get the soundtrack up now? Monopoly Hotels, yeah. David says, T. Carter, so much stuff. Board games should start having table space ratings on the box. Some of these games are just unviable. Yep, completely reasonable. This would not have worked, I think, on the table we used to stream on. The one I used right up until I got the table topper. I just don't think it would have been viable. So, there you have it. Alright, let me just quickly do a little bit of finagling here. There we go. And then we're looking for Frostpunk, the official soundtrack. And we'll get in the mood. The app plays this for you while it comes up with Frozen before Frostpunk. Which is not appropriate. The app plays this for you as well. It's quite depressing, actually. Playing through this on my own, I was getting really down. Like, everything was a real bummer. So, there we go. So this should be the official Frostpunk soundtrack. Yeah, hopefully they won't claim the rights to the video because of this. Anyway, so what we can do, I guess, is we can start by putting out those terrain tiles, which are... So I showed you that there are little goods here in the board here. So you can see I've randomized the sort of distribution of these little markers, and these are where there are goods in the cliff. So there's coal over here, there's actually coal up here, which you can't quite see, and some wood down here on this corner as well. So we've got these empty corners, and what we're going to do is put out 2 tiles connecting the main board to the empty corners. That's just a part of setup. So there's one of our near ones. Let's have a look. Where else are we going? We're going down here next. So there's another one. And here is another one. Let's probably turn that down just a little bit. And these start with some resources on them. So we've got some coal. Now I've got the resin resources as well. These are sort of... It felt like, you know, if you've got the miniatures, you probably need the resin resources because it's sort of this aesthetic of realism to keep it consistent. However, you do have to drop everything into the tower, and the resin resources do just chonk right through the tower into the bottom. So the idea is we're throwing cubes in here as we burn them, and we're gonna, you know, it's just like a standard board game tower, and then we pull a little draw out to see how much has fallen through the tower, and if too much falls through before we clean it, then it'll explode and we'll all die. But these resin cubes have a tendency to just drop right to the bottom, so we also have the coal cubes up here for this purpose. So that's just a little production decision that they've made. But anyway, there we go. For that, we can put the wood out as well. Maybe someone who knows the game can also answer this question. What is a steam core? These are very valuable resources in the game, but there's not actually any explanation of what they are and where they came from. Are they just pre-apocalypse tech that's been left lying around? Who knows? Alright, so there we go. There's our starting resources there. Not yet done. Actually, we get some more tiles, but that's some of the starting resources. Then we're going to do the tiles around the outside. So this one is 3 trees and 2 coal, and then we've got 4 coal down here. And over here we've got... Oh no! So our starting tiles have borderline no food on them, so that's great. We start with... Here we go, let's go have a look at this track up here. So we start with 8 food, thanks to our society card. When you play the game, you get a society card, which just tells you the starting stats of your society. So we're using society 1 normal difficulty. There's no easy difficulty. There's just normal, and that's it. And yeah, so our starting resources are down here, and we start with 8 food. Come on, camera, work with me here, bud. Think you can do it? Yeah, there we go. 8 food. Anyway, it's on the bottom left. But now we're going to start with 10. Because there's 2 food on this tile. But whatever food was spread across these 6 starting tiles would start with. But unfortunately, there wasn't very much food lying around. So, we're going to have to... we're going to have to do something about that, I guess. A lot of coal. And a lot of coal. Not a lot of wood. That's a problem. Where to put my trees? Is your generator finished, or do we start with a damaged one? You know what, Difter? I don't understand that question, so I'm going to say we start with a finished one. I know that the generator can become damaged when it overheats, thanks to the this track over here. So this is where the steam's going to go when it comes, or the damage from the usage is going to go here. And if it fills up completely without us cleaning the tracks, it's going to lose. It's going to get damaged, and then it will explode. But we start on the undamaged side, if that's the question. Right, so I've done that, and we also need to randomize 2 starting discontent. So here's the discontent bag to randomize discontent, and here's our discontent board. So these are, of course, your loss conditions. If discontent fills up, then you lose, and if hope runs out, you also lose. See the red symbol? The red symbol means you lose. See how common it is? So here's our discontent. So this one I think is apathy, and the first one starts on the white side, which means it's not exhausted. And then we've got anger, which I think is this one, and that starts exhausted. Those are part of our social card setups. Steam cores are rare resources found when scouting, at least in the video game. Certain buildings require steam cores to operate, usually machinery buildings. Yeah, so there are... In this, they don't really need them to operate so much as they can upgrade things, and they're very valuable. But I was just wondering what they were. You know, like, I mean, I know what they are in the terms of the game's mechanisms, but not so much in terms of the game's story. So here we go. We also start with 2 hope tiles that are both unexhausted, so that's nice. That's justice we've just pulled. And the other one we've pulled is care. Alright, here we go. And so then we've got to do... What do we have to do next? We can randomize the technologies, I guess. So we've got anger, that's new. In the video game we have discontent and hope. So the discontent and hope have subcategories, Pedro, in this one. There is also, for discontent, there is anger, apathy, and... Oh, what's the last one? Oh, maybe this one's apathy. I'll check for you. The other one is this hand token like this. I just can't remember what it stands for. And for hope, there's justice, care, and something else. So clearly I've only internalized 2 out of 3 in both cases. So anger, apathy, and greed. The hand is greed. And so you saw there care and justice. The third one is a flame, and it's called motivation. So there we go. George is on the ball as well. Thank you so much. You can compare Steam cores to like today's computer chips. Okay, so they're like sort of fancy bits of leftover technology. Yeah, because this is sort of like right, because it's Frostpunk, so it's like sort of punk, isn't it? It's like the apocalypse happened before present day, isn't it? So anyway, here is our technology cards. We're going to deal out 4 of these. These are the only 4 technologies you can research in the game, and they're completely randomized. I only managed to get 1 technology done in the trial game I played, which was more sophisticated automatons. So you can make automatons that are like robot workers, and the more sophisticated ones were really good. So I just hope we get that again, but we'll see. What have we got first? Steam-powered chainsaw. I've never seen this before. Sounds useful. Wood's really important. So what have we got here? As a gather resource action, you may place a worker or automaton on an unoccupied space that has 1 or more trees. Remove the tree and gain 2 wood. Okay, so this lets you cut down wood without actually having to build a sawmill, basically. Is that useful? I feel like you should just build the sawmill. I mean, I did build a lot of sawmills in the game I played on my own, and it didn't really work out. So I ran out of wood to pick up, and then the sawmills chewed up all the wood on their spots, and then I had to upgrade them, and I didn't have the means to upgrade them, and it all went wrong. Technology number 2. Tracking techniques. Weather phase. Gain 1 food for each map tile depicting a food bonus. Oh, good. So that can combo with our complete lack of food tokens. Next card. Equipment upgrade. Whenever you use a coal thumper, also gain 2 coal. So the coal thumper is a building that extracts coal from the ground and puts it on the map, which we then have to go out and collect. But this allows us to also simultaneously collect some with the coal thumper. Could be useful. These are all relatively cheap techs, which I approve of. Nutritional education. You may use the cookhouse with a child meeple. Oh, that could be useful, because I just can't abide taking the child labor law. It just makes me so sad. So, of course, then I have to save all the children, and I can't make them work, and inevitably everyone dies, because I was unwilling to put children to work. Good. So that's the technologies done. So, for those of you that don't know the game, there are these law cards. These are laws. We start with, they come in pairs, and we start with 4 pairs. When you enact one law, the other law becomes unavailable. So here's the sort of the laws that kind of, the quintessential, this is first choice of the game, is whether or not to build the child shelter, whether children can safely shelter, or to put them to work and invent child labor. And you can see that if you build the child shelter, it creates some hope. Whereas if you build the child labor, or if you enact the child labor law, then you gain some discontent and you lose hope as well. So that's a big bummer for everyone. And when you pick one of these, the other one will go away. So you have to sort of make your decisions, and then you lose the other one. So we always start with the same 8 on the table, and you're sort of making these choices every time between the different 8 cards. But then we also start with 4 more that are just randomly dealt out from this deck. So I will do that now. Coal Thumper is very useful, says Pedro. Difter also hearts Coal Thumper. Okay, I'll build a Coal Thumper. I mean, I didn't in the last game, and everything ended horribly, so we don't need this on screen. Oh, get out of here. This is my space for things we've enacted and event cards and expeditions and all that stuff. It's not enough room, but we'll have to make do. So, we shall see the 4 unique laws we can use in this game. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. And these ones go back in the game box. They're out of the game forever, just like those technologies. Alright, what do we got? Let's have a look. In the video game, Coal Thumper focused strategy goes well with child labor. I'm not doing child labor, George. I'm not I'm not doing it. It makes me too sad. Because you can use the children to gather coal in the later game. I mean, yeah. I mean, I understand the principles. Alright, what we got here? Care House. Law. So this is a happy law, I guess. We will be able to use the workers to take care of our sick. They should do a good job if they're the product of a caring society. Unlock the care house building. The care house costs 2 wood to build. When this law is introduced, you may immediately build the care house by paying its cost. So, this game is a lot about buildings as well. As we explore the land tiles I've put out here, and you can see that we've got, you can see that we've got our civilization here in the middle, our workers and all hanging out. And then we've got all of our resources. As we gather these resources, we'll be clearing them in order to make way for building buildings, which is how we're going to survive, by building up our society in this way. And so the different buildings are all very important. Different laws will give you access to different buildings. I should have the care house here. I did get out pretty much all the law. Yeah, here it is. So here's the care house building, and this should give us an indication of what it does. So it gives us 2 care, which allows us to heal 2 sick people, and also 3 active care. I believe that's saying that if we have any care on the hope track, we can flip them to the unexhausted side, up to 3 of them. So we do have 1 on the care track, so that's quite good. And so that's just going to go down here into the optional, or the currently unavailable buildings that may become available later pile. Our next law is radical treatment. We must focus on the ones we can cure. If needed, we will sacrifice others for the sake of survival. Action phase. You may use a medical post or infirmary to set 1 sickness marker to 5 and flip it. It may cause death instead of the building's normal effect. I mean, that's amazing. Although, flipping over to the gravely ill side, obviously a lot better than flipping back over and killing someone. Killing people is bad. We don't want to do that if we can help it. So this, timing this correctly, could be really useful. And in case you're wondering, I didn't mention it, but I have included all the Frostlander stuff. I just opened that up and just put all the cards in. You know, I mean, as far as I could tell, it was basically just more variety, and there was no reason not to add everything in right from the outset. So we've got time to rest. The times are rough in such situations. People need to rest to regain their strength and mental health. Amen. Once per round, you may exhaust justice and place a spent worker or engineer token in the supply. If you do, choose 1. Discard a discontent token or activate care and motivation. Once per round, you may exhaust justice and spend and place 1 spent worker / engineer token in the supply. Okay, 1 spent engineer. Okay, so that's going to basically cost us an action in the future, and also cost us a justice token, which we do have 1. Actually, we started with 1. And if you do, you may discard a discontent token, which is really good because that could be an unexhausted one. We could activate care and motivation. So that could be potentially quite useful, depending on how the morality track sort of shakes out. Our last law is public house. even in this harsh new world, people still need to raise their spirits after work is good. Spirits after work in good company and with a stiff drink in hand. Okay, so this is basically build a bar. Unlock the public house building. It costs 1 wood to build. When you enact the law, you may immediately build it. Brilliant. Pub. Alright, what's the pub do? Oh, we should probably have the child shelter out as well, just in case we decide to put that there. So there's the child shelter. Here's the public house. It just gives you one hope. So that's great. Fantastic. Alright, get these other ones out of here. They'll never appear in this game. Bam. Right, where are we at? Okay, I think we've pretty much done all the randomization. The last things we need to do are draw a card, a hand of 7 cards. I believe it's 7 for the solo mode, but then we have to discard 1, and we'll have to pay some resources for that, because things are already hard, because things are just hard in this game. I've put all the laws out here. I'm going to have to move them, though, because there's not enough space. Anywho, let me just double check very quickly that I do get 7 cards. And I'm correct about that. Of course, you know, if... yeah, it is 7. So I get 7. I've also got this Call to Rise card, which is unique for the solo game, which I can cash in at some stage and just draw more citizen cards into my hand. It's a one-off. It goes back in the game box once you use it. You get more citizen cards. So your citizen cards are a finite resource, but, you know, you want to use them to try and keep your civilization alive. And then after that, we'll pick an advisor. I'll go through those with you guys as well, so you can help me pick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, and the rest of these can go over here, because we'll only need that deck once more. Oh, no, we won't. Actually, when someone dies, we pull a card from that deck. I forgot. We can pull a card from that deck, or we can discard one from our hand. Alright, so I've got no children. That's really annoying. One of the nice things about these cards is they can let you use children workers, even if you can't normally. I've only drawn workers and engineers. Rather than go through all these right now, I'll just quickly... Unless you guys want me to. Let me know if you want me to go through them all, or else I'm just going to pick one to get rid of really quickly. Spend a coal. That seems pretty good. To get rid of, I mean. So no children citizen cards and coal thumper tech. George, are you suggesting that I invent child labor? The god of RNG wants you to do child labor. God damn it, George, I don't want to do child labor. I don't want to do it. It makes me feel bummed out and sad. Where will the children sleep if we don't have the child shelter, huh? I am just joking. This game is still sitting on my shelf of shit. Look, I mean, I think that the child labor strategy is probably very viable. Construct. Perform this action as normal, except you may upgrade a building by paying an upgrade cost and using 2 sub-actions. That could be okay. I mean, the thing is, I think building the workshop as soon as possible to start getting techs is probably a good idea. So, I don't know if we need Chrissy Klimowski here. Also, when we drop her, we can get rid of 2 coal on the map, which is fine because, you know, there's shed loads of it. So maybe we'll just get rid of Chrissy, because I'm going to build the workshop as soon as I can anyway. I didn't actually read all of them, but I'm quite happy to get rid of her, so let's do that. And we drop 2 coal off the map. I think we get rid of these 2... Yeah, because then we free up some spaces to start building things. They're inefficient with the gather action to pick up. I mean, we could use the gathering post, of course, to grab them much more easily, but we still need places to build the gathering posts, and we would delete them if we built the gathering posts on top of them. So I think if we fill in these 3 tiles here, actually, then that gives us kind of a good spot to sort of build out some to build out the gathering posts and collect these resources around here. Of course, this is actually also a really good spot for gathering posts up here, just because there is so many resources all along here. Well, actually, here or here might be good as well. I don't know. Game's hard, man. Look at it this way. The children are just doing simple jobs to help. They aren't working in a textile mill. Playing the game, I never had to go full child labor to win. Always used the weaker, less hard option. Look, you know, I just want them to have a childhood, okay? Even in this bleak post-apocalyptic world. I mean, that's probably why I lost the other game. There was a card that came up and it was like, do you want to spend wood to build toys for the children? And I was like, yes! I want to spend wood to build toys for the children. And then I ran out of wood and everyone died. We use them to gather. We're not monsters. It's cold out there, Pedro. We're not monsters. Then if child labor is fine, then why do they look so miserable on the card, and why does it reduce hope and generate discontent, huh? Tell me that! Right. So that's all done. So now we need to pick an advisor, and I picked the social advisor. Oh, actually, we have to do this first as well. Should have done this already. So you start with one society card over here, which is the inevitable, which is just your starting dusk card to sort of make sure there's something in the deck. It says, every day or we fight the bitter struggle against hunger, cold, and disease. There will be losses. Flip every sickness marker on its skull side to its syringe side. For each corpse you have, gain one sick citizen. So, that means that we kind of need to see this card ideally before any of the tokens get flipped to any of the sickness tokens get flipped to the skull side, or else this will potentially kill up to 3 people all in one go, which would be dreadful. Now, these are the social discontent dusk cards here, and we're going to give these a shuffle, and we're going to add 1 to the deck, and then we're going to shuffle these around, and hopefully we see the inevitable before, ideally, very quickly. If it can be the first card we pull, that'd be great. Everyone looks miserable on the cards. It's a mess there. Yes, I do. I know this. Everyone does look miserable on the cards. It is a mess here. So one thing apparently that I read that works well is clearing lots of snow in the early game to find the right places to build gathering posts optimally. Yeah, I heard that as well, George. It's tricky. I mean, I think revealing a lot of terrain early on is a good idea, but I don't know how much is a lot. In the game I lost, I revealed probably about just under half of the terrain, and I then kind of ran out of sort of momentum. And I don't know if I should have revealed more, because things escalate very quickly, and if you don't have, things escalate very quickly, and if you don't have buildings, then you're just in trouble. At least there are no zombies like Dead of Winter. This is true. At least there are no zombies. So once we're done shuffling this deck, we actually just flip it straight up. So we get to see the card that's going into this deck, and we also get to see the next card. So, do we add a social dispute card right away? I think we do. I think we need to have 2 in there for the dusk phase. The first dusk phase. And the game begins on the action phase, which is like halfway through a round. For your reference, and I'm not going to be using this card because I'll use the app to track this, but these are all the phases of a round. So, you know, you start with the dawn phase, and then the morning phase, and the generator phase, and a lot of these are really short and just kind of a little bit of admin. And then the weather phase, the preparation phase, and the action phase where you do all your stuff, and then the dusk phase, hunger phase, and night phase. And we'll begin with the action phase for round 1. We skip all that stuff above it for the first round of the game. Right, what was I going to check? Oh yeah, do you shuffle a social dispute card during setup? I believe you do. Let's have a quick look. Quickly. Yes, we do. So, the first social dispute card we're going to put into the deck is Suspicion. So let's have a look at this and see what it says. Suspicion! Suspicion always haunts guilty minds. If you have more hope tokens than discontent tokens, something good will happen. If you have fewer hope tokens than discontent tokens, something bad will happen. If you have the same number of hope and discontent tokens, activate one of each. Okay, I mean, fine. So that gets shuffled into here. At the beginning of the dusk phase, it tells us to shuffle again anyway, so I'll just do a quick bit of shuffling and then... So there are, I think there are 3... Steven says there are about 8 scenarios. Yeah, so I think there are 4 scenario decks, but then the scenario decks can be used in different configurations. There are different map setups as well. This one's called the Crater, but I think some are slightly bigger or slightly different. I haven't looked through it, so I don't really know for sure. There's also your starting society cards, and there are, like, I think 4 different societies per difficulty. So I think it's 4. This is society, or it might be 6. There's a lot of these. And this is Society 1 on normal difficulty. So I think there's about 6 normal cards, and then there's a next difficulty, which is hard. And then there's another difficulty called Survivalist. Oh, we haven't put out the expedition cards yet either. God, where am I going to put these? There is no space, right? Sorry, Laws, you're already going to have to go. And then we can have our expeditions here. Can't even go on any expeditions yet, but we're going to figure out the expeditions really quickly because we need to build a beacon as our first objective. Right! We're pretty much ready to go. We need an advisor, and then I'll read you the first scenario card. I think there's plenty of gameplay variety, says Steven. I'm interested in that because I am curious about how different the game's going to feel on multiple plays. Like, how different... There's certainly a lot of variety, but will it feel sort of more or less the same every time, or will the puzzle feel substantially different? I don't know. But I have to play more to find out. So here is the social advisor. This is the one I used in the game I lost. The social advisor says you can exhaust a justice. So they all exhaust a hope token in order to give you a special power. They use this in the preparations phase. And so she says on this one, you can reveal 3 dusk cards, and then you can choose one of them to discard without resolving it. Put the other 2 back. So if you have to put a dusk card in the dusk deck that is bad, and some will be good and some will be bad, then this could help you get rid of it. So I used her, and she only actually was useful one time. You can't use this to rig the deck, because you have to shuffle it at the beginning of the dusk phase anyway. So she's really just for hunting down and removing a bad card that you never want to resolve. And I think that actually is pretty useful. But then these are also useful, I think. So this guy says he's the generator advisor. If you exhaust 1 hope, which is just one of any of the hope tokens, you can remove 3 stress cubes from the stress track. I actually don't know how useful that would be. There's a building that lets you do that, the stress, the generator building here, and I only actually had to use it like 1 time. The health advisor. You can exhaust a care to cure 2 sickness. This could be really useful. I had a real problem with sickness in the other one, so he's an option. Actually, I think she's an option too. I don't want the generator advisor. Who's left? The foreman advisor. Only if you exhaust motivation, play 1 near tile. If all near tiles are already in place, play a far tile. That's really good. The issue is I don't have any motivation at the moment, so maybe we'll rule him out as well. So, what do you guys think? Social advisor or health advisor? Do we want cure sickness or check the dusk deck? I think that this guy would be more useful more often, but I mean, cure 2 is not that great. On the other hand, we do have a cure, and people will get sick, so we can use that as often as possible. That will be good. This, I think, will be less useful less often, but could potentially avert a complete disaster. Yeah, I mean, so we do have the Justice and the Care token. Those are the 2 Hope tokens we started with. So we can use either of these two right from the outset. Do you know what? I think the thing about the Social Advisor as well is I don't know if there's any buildings that replicate her ability. There might be. I think there are random morning event cards that let you do it. But, like, for the Health Advisor, we can just build an infirmary, and that kind of does the same thing for the cost of an action. But that can be replicated with a building. Whereas this, I don't know if it can actually be replicated. But like I said before, on the other hand, I used it, and then I didn't really have much. I only used it, like, the once. Well, I'm not hearing strong feelings from chat one way or the other. So let's take the Social Advisor. I just talked myself into it. But I don't know. We'll see. Maybe she'll just not be all that useful again. Okay, so with that in mind, here's scenario 1, card number 1. Are we alone? Civilization has fallen. We, the survivors, traveled in a convoy that split into several groups to increase our chances of reaching a functional generator. Our group succeeded. What fate has befallen the others? Lighting up a signal to guide the lost souls will help to answer that question. So, before round 4, or not before round 4, but we have to build a beacon basically, and if we build it before round 4, we get A. If we don't build it, we get B. And so actually, there are the results. I won't show them to you, but you know they're. Yeah, we should probably try and build a beacon. And then also at round 11 says if you've resolved some other scenario card, then you get to do something else, but we don't know how to get that card yet. But hopefully all will become apparent in due course. So the quest is build a beacon. And the beacon is good because it also lets you go on expeditions, which are fun because we get to uncover things. And actually, for some reason, the 3 expeditions I happen to deal out, I don't know how clear you guys can see this on the stream, but these little icons up here show you what you'll get as a reward for the expedition. This one's a question mark, which I think is just kind of, you know, shrug, who knows. So sometimes there's people. We've got no people, so we won't find any people out there. But we will find, we've got 2 here that are resources, so food and coal and wood, possibly, those kinds of things. And this one is question mark. Could be anything, who knows? It's probably food or resources or citizens. Because those are pretty much the only things in the game to find. In case people don't know, you can choose a different advisor every round. You can, Steven? I missed that rule. Really? Oh, there's so many little missable rules. I thought I had it all down, but I did not know. Is that in the preparations phase it says that? Which advisor to use this round, if any? You're right. Yep, you can just change advisor. Oh, great. So let's just keep them all out. Fantastic. I thought we had to pick one for the whole game. See, I made it harder on myself before. I mean, well then, I guess we can keep for the starting round. We can still only use those other 2 guys, so we might as well pick the. Oh, this is neat! I didn't even notice this. Look, there are 2 different characters on each card. So there's the Health Advisor 1 and the Health Advisor 2. Cool. I didn't even notice that. We might as well pick the Health Advisor though, because I don't think we need the Social Advisor for round 1, because the 2 cards, because we know that the 2 cards in the Dusk deck can't be discarded. The setup cards that you start with cannot be gotten rid of, so we're going to have to live with those anyway. So, we can't use her ability this round, so we might as well take the Health Advisor. Although, actually, we can't use her ability either. So it doesn't really matter what advisor we pick now. So let's see how this plays out, and then we'll pick again next round. Yes, exactly, Difter. We're already past the preparation phase, so we won't have a chance to use their ability until next round anyway. So, with that in mind, I think it's time to begin the actions phase. So let's go ahead and kick this off. Oh yeah, so this is just asking me Do I want to track the weather on the app? No. And I don't want to do trade. I don't know what trade is, actually, so hopefully that's not something that I'm going to have to... I don't remember seeing that in the rules at all. Anyway, that's fine. Yes, start a new game. So, we start in the action phase. Can you guys see this okay? Let me know. Anyway, it's just literally a play rate. It just says, adjust the number of citizen meeples in the supply, which we don't need to do because everyone's still alive. We don't, it says place them on the spent citizen tokens. We don't have any because it's the beginning of the game. And finally, perform actions. So we've got here our gang of civilians. We've got 5 workers as per our starting social. We've got 3 engineers who are just more skilled workers and 2 children who can't currently do anything. So just don't get any phone calls. Yeah, well, I was going to put the phone into airplane mode to avoid any kind of embarrassing messages popping up while it was on screen. But then it turned out if it's in airplane mode, it can't communicate with the streaming software. So I guess, yeah, fingers crossed. Not that I get any embarrassing messages or anything, ever. I don't get any messages. I don't have any friends. Right, what are we doing? So, building the beacon would probably be a good first sort of, or thinking about, well, okay, so first priorities, right? I guess exploring a bit of the land is probably the first priority because what we've got here is the set of buildings and below, that is 1 kid token there. I think you need 2. I do have 2 kid tokens. Here we go. There are the 2 children. Sorry, they are less clear than the meeples, and I probably should have used the wooden meeples for the, I'm going to be able to focus on that for me, bud? I probably should have used the wooden meeples for the live stream, but I have the plastic tokens, so we're using them. So these are the children tokens. If we look real close at it, then we can see that they are, in fact, little children sitting by a wall. Or like 2 little children near a wall. I don't know what that is above them. Snow, probably. We've also got the worker token, which is 2 workers by some kind of generator here. I mean, yeah, you couldn't see these. They're tiny. They're so small. And incredibly detailed. I mean, I can't even see them, and I'm sitting here using them. And then here are engineers as well, who look like they're doing a... some kind of work on some kind of rigging. So, much easier to see if you use the wooden meeples, but we're not doing that. So I apologize. If it gets really annoying, we can migrate over to the wooden meeples, I promise. Alright, so, here we go. So here we've got all the buildings you can build, and you can see the prices down the bottom here. So this is a wood, 2 wood, 3 wood, 4 wood, 5 wood, 2 wood for these ones. These are the shelters. We're going to need these to sleep in, or else we're going to get frostbite, and everyone's going to get sick and sad and miserable. We've also got the upgrade costs below, but we don't need to worry about that right now. So you can see the beacon, which is our objective, is here, and that costs 3 wood. So collecting wood is a really good start. We also don't have much wood. So the thing is, also revealing tiles kind of just generates sickness anyway, so I guess we're just going to start off by generating some sickness and revealing some tiles, because that's kind of all we can do. So some actions so sickness is a whole thing. Sickness is the board up at the top here. You can see the 3 sickness tokens over here, and they're going to progress up this track as people get sick. And you can see that they match these 3 tokens here, which match the 3 meeples. So these are the children currently living in the community, these are the engineers, and these are the workers, right? And as the sickness tokens advance up the track, the more and more people within each group are going to be sick. So if the engineer token cannot, engineer sickness token cannot advance past the engineer token, because once it gets to this spot, all the engineers are sick. And that's really bad. Likewise, if the worker token gets up here, all the workers are sick, and that's really bad. So that's kind of what we're trying to avoid. So we can start by doing heat. You can do heat. You have lots of opportunities to just throw coal into the generator to generate heat. Steven says, need heat first. So the action phase is technically a number of turns in which you place a single meeple. And at the beginning of each meeple placement, you can choose to throw coal into the heater. So there are lots of opportunity to generate heat during the action phase. And because the action that I'm talking about here, where's my action sheet? Here it is. Here are all the actions, but I don't know how well this is going to show up. We'll see. Whoa! So, remove snow is one action. Gather resources. Deploy scouts. That's going on an expedition. We can't do that yet. Construct is build the buildings. And then also special actions. We don't have any of those yet. And use building is the bottom one there, which you can't really see. Dead yet? No, Paul, I've just been kind of being sort of randomizing setup, and my money's on round 6. Then it would have gotten worse. I hope not. I think I made it to round 8 before. Maybe I did only get to round 6, actually. I don't know. Anyway. We are literally just about to pick the first action of the game. And I think I was just explaining I'm going to pick, boom, we're going to go down here and reveal some tokens. So we can do 2 near tokens or 1 far token. And the question is, so we've generated 1 sickness up there for the workers because the workers gone and done a remove snow action. And so the question is, where shall we put these tokens? I'm going to give you a choice, chat. Do you want them in the northwest? So I'd say that would be here and here. I think those are probably pretty decent places to explore. Or do you want them in the southeast, which I guess would be here and here probably. I think these are also good spots. So here and here, or here and here. I think these are both fairly reasonable positions for the starting southeast. Hackers as well. Look at the people actually making decisions. This is great. This never happens. Usually I just get trolled. They've all gotten respectful, Paul, because they saw you were in chat. Alright, so here we go. So we've revealed some more bonus food. So maybe that... Wasn't there a law or a technology we had that... Yeah, the tracking techniques technology does work with that. So here we go. Let's populate these. Got a nice spot for a sawmill actually straight away there as well, which could be really good. But we'll have to see. I mean, my problem, as I said before, was one of my problems anyway was so Paul, just to be clear, this revealing this now doesn't have any effect, right? Only if something references it. It only actually gives us food during setup, right? You get 3 food. So we get 3 food when we reveal these bonus tiles as well? There's a rule I missed. Good that Paul's here. We don't need to make this any harder than it already is. Especially because I got only 2 bonus food during setup, but no, it was sad. So we're going from 10 up to 13. Fantastic. It is in the rulebook. I'm sure it is, Paul. It's just that, you know, there are a lot of rulebooks. It gets confusing. Don't call me out. Okay. So that's our first remove snow action. I see a good spot for a sawmill here and a good spot for a gathering post here. The question is, do we want to press forward with more remove snow? I think so. Probably get 1 far tile, right? To go up here. To go here, I think, probably. Get a nice far tile. Yeah, let's do that. I think we should do that. I've decided. No, okay. What I do need to do is something about sickness, because I basically ignored it last time and everyone got sick. Good. Ah, 3 more food and one of the super valuable steam cores. Look at that. Ancient relics from the time before. Time before times. Okay, cool. 3 more food. That's great. Well, we're feeding the children this round, so we've got more than enough food for that. So we need, now, I think, to build some buildings. Now, we can build buildings without actually putting heat in the generator, so that's good. But also, I think we'll probably just chuck 3 heat in anyway to avoid... 3 coal in anyway to avoid sickness. So, I guess, in the interests of what you were saying earlier, George, as well, about revealing tiles early to sort of make a strategy, maybe we do this tile as well, because if we're building a gathering post here, surely we want to know all the tiles around it, right? Surely. Right? If only Tesla City had survived and we could trade with them to get more cores. Is Tesla City a thing, Difter? Is that a thing? Can you imagine if, like, if Elon Musk went all Magneto and just went off and built his own civilization on an island? Right, I'm doing it. I'm doing one more reveal the snow. Now the question is, do I send another worker? I'm really liking the look of this tracking techniques technology now that we have 3 food bonuses on the map already. Right. So let's do it one more time. One more time. But let's also make an infirmary or something too. I'm also getting the impression that a lot of you have played this before, so I was kind of hoping that I could get away... I could mask my incompetence behind the fact that I was just kind of demonstrating the game and the rules. But apparently if you've all played before and you're just here to watch me suffer, that's great. Another steam core. Fantastic. Good news. And 2 trees. Right, so now we can go and do a hack and build action. And we can do potentially 3 build actions. We're not going to be doing any dismantle actions, so that's fine. So let's use one more worker to go and do that. And... yeah, well, so we'll start with the gathering post. Right here. There we go. Just hoover up all those goods. Seems like a good idea to me. And then we can build 2 more things. So that costs 1 wood. We've got 3 wood left. I'm wondering about maybe building a sawmill like right away, right here. Just because I ran out of wood so fast in the other game. Should I have a quick look over here and see what we can do as well with these guys here? So, we've got our citizens. Maybe they can give us a useful bonus action. I didn't really share them before. So this guy just enhances the use of the infirmary. Cure 3 citizens when you go and do the infirmary. So that's not very useful right now. Olivia Care Bear. When you go and use the platform, you can have +1 hope or -1 discontent. That actually could be useful if we were going to enact a law now, because we could get rid of a discontent token, which would help with the suspicion card we might draw. George, isn't it better to gather the wood that's on the board and then go sawmills? Or better yet, get the big saw on the wall and upgrade it? Yeah, you're probably right. This guy... remove snow. Perform this action as a normal, except place 2 far tiles. If cold, gain 2 sick engineers instead of 1. Okay, so that's if you take the take reveal remove snow as with an engineer, you can have 2 fire tiles. That could be really useful actually. We need to make sure that we create lots of heat. We've got this guy here. Oh, this is kind of useful actually. This is when we take the build action with a worker, we can perform this as a normal action, except you may use 2 sub-actions to remove a small building, and then we can move it. So you normally can't move buildings, you can only dismantle them or build them. So this guy lets us move a building for the cost of 2 of our 3 construct actions. So this guy is an engineer, and he says when you use a building, the generator, you can remove 8 stress cubes instead of the normal 5. Yeah. Paul says, remember, citizen abilities completely replace the normal building action. Johnny's here as well. Welcome, Johnny. Alright, what else we got here? So this is a worker action, and deploy scouts. Perform this action as normal, then place 2 coal on the chosen expedition. Gain the 2 coal when the scouts return from the expedition. Right, so first we need to be able to do an expedition. But we've still got 2 build actions. And my concern, George, is that if we don't build the sawmill here, then we're resigned to gathering resources from here and here. We could build the sawmill here. No, then we need to upgrade it. I don't know. I'm paranoid about running out of wood because I had a real bad time before when I ran out of wood. So I think I'm kind of just tempted because it's only 2 wood. And then for our last wood, I don't know what we'd do with the last wood. What else we got here? Do we have a law we could enact that would be useful? We should probably build the child shelter so they have somewhere to sleep. Costs 2 wood for that. Whenever you perform an action with a citizen meeple, you may spend 2 food to count it as heated. Strategy tip. You need to think about where you'll be getting a regular source of wood from in 2 to 3 rounds from now. Same with coal. Right, so you're talking about the wall points, are you, Paul? Because, yeah, I do need to do that. I mean, the wood... So, on our board here, the wood wall position is over here, and the coal is here and here. Or sawmills, or coal thumpers, etc. Okay, so we have a coal thumper technology, actually. Which says whenever you use the coal thumper, you can also gain 2 coal. Yeah, George, well, that's definitely true. We just haven't discovered enough yet. I suppose the other thing is, like, I mean, there's so much stuff to do in this game. Where is the coal thumper? So it's 3 wood. So, I mean, for 1 wood, we could build the workshop. We could build the workshop, and then we could build a sawmill and a workshop, actually. That would cost all of our wood. The tree positions are vital for sawmills. Now, all the experts in chat here helping me along. This is actually really helpful. And don't forget shelters, otherwise you'll have 10 sick people this round. Yes. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna... So what I'm thinking... Alright, so let's have a quick look and see what we've got here. Let's do a little bit of math. So, we've got 4 more actions after this. If we spend all of our wood to build a sawmill and a workshop, we probably won't get to do the workshop yet, but we'll at least get to put a technology out. Then, probably, we want to spend our remaining actions to... build some shelters so people don't get too sick already. I know that the storm in this game mode, and normally you may not know what the storm card does if you haven't seen it yet. I know what the storm card does in this because I already played this scenario, and also it tells you in the rulebook. So in this one, we know that the storm card turns all of our tents and bunkhouses into ruins. So we have sort of 3 options for shelters, which are our houses, our tents, and our bunkhouses. And what we really want to do is build the houses, because they are red insulation, so they are, much better heated. Whereas these ones are much less well heated, but they each only shelter 2 people. And we have currently 8 people to shelter plus 2 children, which is 10 sickness. So that's bad. So the child shelter will shelter the 2 children. But these 2 are going to be destroyed when the storm comes. But that's not for a little while yet. Plus, we can enact a law that lets us use the ruins for shelter, although it's not great. So there you go. It's makeshift shelters. If you your ruins, if heated, count for 1 shelter, so that could be useful theoretically. The first storm destroys tents, the second one destroys bunkhouses. So I mean, if we can get the bunkhouses, that'd be great. I mean, if we can get the houses, that'd be great. But I think last time I tried to build the houses and just ignore the tents and bunkhouses, and I didn't build enough early enough, and too many people got sick, which I think was a big problem. So with that in mind. Yeah, exactly. It's a lot of wood at this point to build houses, Hexy. So let's have a look here. If we were, because we can build up to 3 things with 1 action. If we built the sawmill and if we built the sawmill as well, and we use our gathering post, that's going to net us 2 wood, and the sawmill will net us 3 more wood. But then we've used up 2 of our 4 actions. And for 5 wood, we'd have 5 wood. We could rest half of our people. How much wood does it cost to build a sawmill? 2. Could shovel some snow to find out if there's a better place for the sawmill. I've already shoveled a lot of snow, Hexy. I think that, at this stage, the thing is, I've got the card that lets me move a sawmill, so I could theoretically, it lets me move 1 small building, so I could move that sawmill if I got into a pinch. But what I like about the sawmill is it also lets you gain 1 more wood. I see what you're saying, like there's only 2 trees there, and we don't know what's here. So, there's also the matter of this suspicion card. So I'm just wondering if there's what was the law I was looking at? Right, the child shelter, which I think would be good because... Oh, but that has a cost as well. What's the cost of the child shelter? 2 wood! Oh my god. See, this is why the game is hard, because it's like, you can't do everything right, so it's like, what losses am I going to take? Okay, I'm just going to commit to my plan here of sort of vaguely sorting life out. A hothouse is so expensive as well. Okay, so here's the plan. Sawmill goes out here, and that costs 2 wood. And then what was the last thing I was going to build? The workshop, just to get the oh, the workshop can go like way out here because it's red, and we have space out there, and that lets us start researching a technology. And I think we should get tracking techniques, because it takes 5 steps to get. We also have the steam powered chainsaw, which lets us cut down a tree for 2 wood. But I think tracking techniques, because food is also going to become an issue, tracking techniques takes longer. It takes 5 rounds to research, Um, and of course, we can speed that up by using the workshop. But the advantage of the... Why is this not working? There we go. So the advantage up here of doing this is that we're at least getting some progress towards it already. And then we'll just have three extra food every round for the rest of the game, which is great, I think. The storm is a good bit away for now. Yeah, the storm's a good bit away for now. Okay, so now having done that, we can throw some coal into the fire because we need to move out and we don't want to get sick. So I should have some more scenes here. Nope. Okay. So here's our generator. So let's should we just throw 3 coal in? I know it's possibly. Do we need to actually? If we do 2, then a worker gets sick. We don't really need 3 right now. If another worker gets sick, they're going to start getting gravely ill. I'm not a fan. Well, we don't need to do it now, so let's think about it. So there's 2 coal anyway that we've spent to move that token up there. And then we can go ahead and stick one of our workers over here on the gathering post, and they're going to collect so much nice stuff. We're going to get 1 wood from here, 1 coal from here, 1 of these from here. We're going to get another wood from here. We're going to get another coal from here, and we're going to get this thing from here. So now we've got 2 steam cores. We've got 2 steam cores, 5 coal, and 2 wood. And that is a heated action because of the thing we just triggered. And now we can go, oh, where's my sawmill? Help, help, I've lost my sawmill. Which building is it? It is this one. Yes, there it is. So the engineer comes over here, and he chops down this tree and produces 3 wood. Good job, sir. Alright, so now with 5 wood, here's what I think we can do. We can play the card that lets us go to the platform and get +1 hope or -1 discontent and enact a law. And that has to be an engineer that goes and does that, so he goes and does that over there. And then we can enact this child shelter, which also gets rid of child labor, George. So you can laugh when I fail horribly because I don't want to put the children to work. And that's fine. So that gives us 1 hope. And we will go into the bag because we don't have any hope tokens to unexhaust. They're all currently active. So we might as well use... And then we get a 2nd hope or -1 discontent. And in this case, I think we'll actually do -1 discontent. Oh, so there's -1... Not a law also. You're right, Paul. You said that earlier. You said this replaces the entire action. That's fine, then. We will not play the citizen card. We will instead just enact the law. You're right. Yes, you said that. Child labor is a good life. Everyone keeps saying child labor is important. I pulled justice. And that's not active yet. It's +1 hope. Right. So there's our child shelter anyway, and we can now build the child shelter for as part of this action. So here's the 2 wood. We need somewhere to put it. Let's put it here. Or here. Here's probably fine. There it is. Okay, so we've got 1 action left and 3 wood, so I think we need to build a bunkhouse, I guess. Or a tent. And something else. Because otherwise everyone's going to get sick. And that's sad. Maybe bunkhouse. Throw the children in the generator, Johnny. Just show up here with your wonderful dark humor. Right. I don't think we have anything else particularly useful here to do. So yeah, let's build a do the construction action again. And do we just build a bunkhouse maybe? A 3 wood? It's all our remaining wood, but it'll just last longer than the tent. Yeah, let's do it. Let's build the bunkhouse. Difter says, the game has great music, why wouldn't they use it? Is this not the game's music? This is supposed to be the game's soundtrack. Bunkhouse! Which one is that? Is that this? No, that's a house. Is it this? Is this the bunkhouse? Yes! Oh, this is New Faith and New Order? Right. Is that like an expansion or something? I don't know. I don't know the video game at all. Right, so we're done. I'm out of workers. I've only got children left. So it is time to move on to the next phase of the game. Which is Dusk Phase. Mike reading chat out of context. Yeah. New Faith and New Order are laws 7 and 8. Yes, I do remember that. I just don't. So here we go. This is one card of the 2 we could possibly have, and it is the inevitable. So we start off with the inevitable, which is inevitable. So flip every sickness marker onto its skull on its skull side to its syringe side. So we don't have any on their skull side currently. For each corpse you have, gain 1 sick citizen. So is a sick citizen, is that any? I can choose one of the 3. How have you found playing with the app? You're going to have fun in the night phase with 1 shelter, lol. I have shelters for the kids. That it came out now? Yes, Paul. I was thinking the exact same thing. So that goes down there for now. It's not specific. You can choose. Okay, so, I mean, we're going to have a bunch of sick people, which is sad. But what we won't have is any sick children yet. So we'll add a sick child for now. Right. That is there. Okay. So, what's next? That is the end of the dusk phase for now. So, decrease hunger by spending food as much as possible. So in the first round, I think we feed the children, right? You feed the current position of the round marker, which is this one here. So that's the children, but normally it's the... No, you always feed the current round marker's position, right? And then when someone dies from hunger, it's the previous column. I think that's right. Yes. Okie dokie. So Right, so we have to feed the children. There's 8 children. We've got 16 food, so the food goes down to 8, which is fine. That's fine. Because we don't have any hunger currently. But, you know, we will. Probably. Nom 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 nom. Good. Next phase. It's the night phase. Return spent citizen tokens and meeples. So everyone's going to come back to the center of the town now. Or can I just, where's my, come on screen. Where's my stream stuff? Here we go. Let me just move this over here. Like that. And then, also we have to move it. Oh, it doesn't even show up here. Great. All right, bear with me 2 seconds. I'm just going to do some, technical stuff on the fly here, and you can also see it here in my hand, but yeah, just ignore the behind the curtain here. Okay, so right, so we've got our 2 children, we've got our worker, there's an engineer, here's another engineer, and then a bunch more people. Bam, 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 bam. Okay, so we've got the 2 children who can go to sleep because they've got a heated shelter. The 2 other people can go to sleep, which I guess had better be the workers because there's already a bunch of sick workers, which means unfortunately 6 sickness, which is possibly terrible. But we'll fix it soon. Don't worry. Don't worry. We'll fix it soon. I promise. So that means... Going. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Right. Now do we have to do the, each, yeah, without a warm place to sleep gets sick. Ew. And now it is time for the dawn phase. So we pass the leadership marker. No, we don't. But we are going to move the round marker. On to round 2. And then we resolve development and scenario trigger tokens. There are none. So, so much food wasted. Need to go for soup ASAP. I always went with soup. Me too. Gee, people talk about the video game. I don't know anything about the video game. Right, there are no tokens on the track, so nothing to resolve for now. So then it's on to the morning phase, which is to read and resolve 1 morning card from the top of the deck. So let's see what we've got going on here. A coup! Not a soup. We received reports of secret gatherings conducted in private. It's too early for a coup. I only just started. They're like, nah, this is not a good start. We fear there are some who might be trying to depose you. We could conduct a survey to determine the political leanings of our citizens. Place 1 spent engineer token in the supply and add Dusk card 67 to the deck. Alternatively, investigate and have the watchman barge in on one of the meetings. Put a spent worker in the supply and get 68 in the Dusk deck. Alternatively, promise a reward to anyone who can report news of potential plots to you. Oh, God. Dusty, I've already saved the children. The first law I enacted was not child labor. I'm not doing it. Why does everyone want to have the child labor laws? He's already excluded it. Dang, I was too late. Yes, you were too late. I'm not doing it. Okay, but now we have we've found that there's a secret society, and we have to decide what to do about them. And so we could either just survey the citizens to determine their political leanings. So I have a feeling like that's going to be the one with the sort of the least violent outcome, right? Or we can investigate them by sending a watchman to barge in on one of the meetings. What if they're just doing a surprise party for me, though? What if they're organizing a surprise party and then we barge in with a watchman and he's like, I'm shutting this surprise party down, and then everyone's disappointed? Hex is like, join them? Yeah, can I join the secret plot to depose me? Or promise a reward to anyone who can report news of potential plots to you. I feel like that's just going to lead to a load of misinformation. I don't want to lose an action right now, but... I mean, what we could do is promise that, add Dusk card 69 to the deck, and then just use the social advisor to get rid of the card. But I suppose if we survey the political leanings of the citizens, there might be a opportunity for positive stuff to happen. So, in the interests of maybe doing something positive, I guess we'll do that. Wear fake glasses and mustache. Yeah, exactly. I'll just go in disguise. I'll just pull my hood down low, put a beard on and go, that white guy is pretty cool. I think you're all a bit hard on him. You should be nice to him. He's just trying his best. He's only played the game once before. So, spent engineer token into the supply. Right there over here. Bam! Not good. And that's gonna screw us up later. And then we get Dusk card 67. So I've got a big stack of cards over here. I knocked my camera over. It's good. 67. Here it is. That goes into the Dusk deck there. I love Yellowbeard. Alright. I don't think I've ever seen one of them in round 2 before. One of what? What are you talking about, Johnny? A coup. Don't think you've ever seen a coup in round 2 before. No, this is a coup. Oh, the spent engineer token? Yeah, I'm just setting records for... Look, guys, it's a long game, okay? And we've already been streaming for like an hour and a half, and mostly it was just setup and me talking, so, you know, Wait, I just gotta lose quickly so we can all go to bed. Right, also everyone stand back up. Right, we need to build a lot more shelters and possibly an infirmary, I think. And we also need to focus on where we're gonna get wood and all that kind of stuff because Paul said so. Okay. Good, that was the morning phase, wasn't it? So that's done. So now we can go on to the generator phase. Fuel the generator. Right, so we should throw one more coal in the generator because we don't need another 6 citizen. We just don't need that to happen. So here's a coal. Throw it in the generator. Go boom. And then gain 6 citizens based on the heat and the cold markers. So we don't have any at the moment, 6 citizens based on the heat and cold markers because we've just thrown another coal in the generator. So that's fine. So now we're going to drop some coal into the generator and see how much comes out. So, there we go. This will be fun, won't it? Right, I guess there's not really a way to see the top of this tower without just... I don't know a sensible way to position this camera so you can see the top of the tower. So I guess you'll just have to look at the bottom and listen to the cubes drop down. So I have to put, because of the position here, we're gonna drop 3 cubes. So I've got my little wooden cubes over here because we're not using the resin coal for this because we don't need to make this any harder than it already is. So here we go. That sounded like 2 fell through. Let's find out by opening the little drawer. Oh, it was just 1. No, it was 2. I was right. Okay. 1 got stuck in the tower. That's fine. When I lost my other game, I had like 8 in the tower. It was ridiculous. So, these go over here, and that's fine. There's loads of space there. We probably never need to worry about this. Hexy says, resin coal would make it easier as they get stuck more. No, quite the opposite, in fact, Jonathan, in my experience of sitting here and chucking both types into the tower to see if there's a difference. Although, yeah, you would have thought that. That would have been a fair assumption, I think. Right, so the generator didn't break down, and now we're going to reset the heat marker to 0, and we're going to proceed to the weather phase. Here's a weather card. Top weather card of the weather deck. Yeah, get rid of those 8 cubes will come in handy at some point. I'm positive they will. Alright, so everything's going to advance 1. That's just great weather card to start with. We get 1 food. Our expeditions would... Oh, we have to build the beacon as well. Oh, there's so much stuff to do. This game's too hard. Paul, this game's too hard. Why didn't you write easier rules? How did they adapt the range of the generator? Pass, Pedro. I don't understand the question because I don't know the game. The video game. Sorry. Okay, so... Whoop. Basically, because I drew a good weather card, which is this one, everything goes up and just becomes harder. Everything, including the red one. That basically never moves. And then we get no food because I have no hunting lodges, and then none of that happens because I have no expeditions, and then the storm marker doesn't move. Adam Kopicki doesn't do easy. Yeah, I mean, generally speaking, I find the Polish designers just don't do easy games. Good, so we've done all of that stuff, so we can move on. Choose advisor optional, and then resolve the sickness marker's effects. So, I think we should probably use the health advisor here, because if we do, we can actually avoid anyone becoming gravely ill, which I think is a good thing, for now. Because we've got, the worker basically is currently up here in the 6 range, so if we heal 2 workers, they'll go down to 4. Yeah, I've talked myself into it. So let's keep the health advisor and spend 1 care thing here to drop this back down to 4. There we go. And we've avoided that for now. Yes. Paul says you should only have 1 advisor, though, not all 4. Yeah, Paul, that's what I said. I said to them that you only got to pick 1 for the whole game. But then they said that you get to have all 4 and you can change round to round. I've only got 1 advisor out. Right? Nope, they are wrong. Okay, so, yeah, so I did have it right. Right, okay, so the reason it's worded this way in the rulebook is because you have 1 advisor per player. And because I'm 1 player, I only have 1 advisor. So you might have... So, there we go. No, the rulebook's not unclear, hackers. It's, what it is was because I got confused because I forgot that I was on my own. There we go. Because when I learned the game from the rulebook, I had it right. Okay, good. There we go. So we're playing Health Advisor this round. So I guess that means we won't be able to do any fancy stuff in the social deck. Right, here we go. New home. Choose advisor, resolve the sickness marker's effects. Yep, so fortunately we've managed to avoid that for now. Action phase! Place citizen meeples on sent bent. Oh, I have to do that already? Boo. Alright, so one of these engineers goes away because he's, I guess, he's doing a census of people's political views. How do you think Mike's doing? Oh, he's doing real good. Yeah, he's trying real hard. Yeah, he's a good guy. Yes, Paul, that's about right. You get... oh, that's wrong. So you get... it says at the beginning, during the setup, yeah, each player picks an advisor card, and then if you're playing on your own, you get the Call to Rise card, which we have got right here, because we are playing on our own, aren't we? I mean, not really, I'm playing with a chat, but... Actually, we seem to have quite a helpful chat for this game. I guess they understand that this one's very, very difficult already. So, let's have a look. We've got 4 coal. So, we can... So the thing about the coal thumper, right, is it doesn't need to be built near the outside, does it? Yeah, exactly, Haggers. I do not need to be sabotaged in this game. The game will sabotage me hard enough on my own anyway. Um, Johnny says, this is probably the hardest game in my collection. I just got lucky that I was taught by the designer, lol. I learned it from the rulebook, and I thought that the rulebook was very, very good at holding your hand through your first play, and so teaching you how to do it correctly in terms of executing the rules, but then actually, yeah, doing well at the game is another matter. Well, yeah, but what we're doing... Oh, no, I'm doing tracking techniques. Damn, I got confused, Paul. I thought I was researching this equipment that also the coal thumper also gains 2 coal. So we'll be doing that at some stage, I think, to improve our coal thumper. But you're right. For now, it just produces more coal on the board. But I suppose we could build it next to the gathering post, right? What's the exact function of the coal thumper? It is place up to 3 coal from the bank on 3 different adjacent spaces. Spaces chosen must either already have coal on them or have no resources, trees, or buildings. Right, so, I mean, I've never won a scenario. How many times have you played, Johnny? Alright, I think this is beginning to sound like a plan in my head, though. So, let's, well, what we'll do is we'll throw 2 coal. No, 3. We have to throw 3 in. 3 coal into the generator to get up to 1, 2, 3. No, we have to throw all 4 in. No, that's fine, because we've heated up to the outer rim. So we've heated this building now. Well, a bunch of times on TTS and about 8 games since it arrived. Wow, Johnny, that's a lot. Pedro says, from what I'm seeing, it's a good adaptation of the video game. Well, that's good. So there was the 4 things. We went 1, 2, 3. I mean, there's 4. We don't need to do the 4th right now, but I've done it now. And I'll want to do it anyway to get all the way to the outer one for the moment. So we can send a worker over here to the gathering post. We get 2 more coal and this wood. We can also send a worker over here to the sawmill. We can't move this building anyway because there's a worker on it, I think. So we consume the tree and get another 3 wood. That's too much. There we go. So here is our additional resources. And we can now throw another coal into the machine to go up to here, which I don't like doing because that feels like a waste. To put the coal token, to put the heat token on top of the cold token, but of course we don't need 2 sick engineers. So now we can go and do a remove snow with an engineer. So we pop him down here, and we play the citizen card that I've left over here. Which lets us do 2 far tiles, and for the cost of 1 sick engineer. So now they're both on 4, which is not great. We get 2 far tiles, and we're going to do these 2 like this, I think. So there we go. So here we've got a snow, a steam core, and 2 coal. And then here we've got 4 wood and an empty space. So no more trees. So this is probably not a great place to move our sawmill. We probably want to pop it down over here. Not pop it down over here. We probably want to find somewhere else to put it. And that's our citizen card done. So we'll put him, I'd say in the discard, but the problem with Paul mentioned that leaving them face up to remind you that you've used one is good. I just don't know where to put it to remind me that I've done it. Anyway, alright, so 4 actions left. We've got 7 wood. We also need 4 food. So if we go to the build action, I mean, we could go and collect some more wood. There's no harm in that. I'm a big fan of building some buildings, particularly some hunters' huts. I wouldn't mind going to the workshop either so that we can get closer to our tech. Because I think that tech's going to be really useful. And in fact, if we do go to the workshop, we could get that tech next round. And it triggers before the winter phase, which means before the weather phase, so we'd already start getting that food, which would be really good. So the workshop is effectively used for two things. It can let you upgrade buildings, or it can let you progress technologies by moving the token that you're researching towards the round marker. I did add the sick engineer. Thanks, Paul. I did add it. So now they're both on 4. So building an infirmary would be great as well, but that's 2. 2 for the medical post. But we could possibly do 2 build actions. We need a bit more wood. So if we workshop, gather 2 more wood, and then do 2 build actions, that's us for the round. But on the other hand, I quite like the idea of actually just building the wall drill as well. That means we would have to build the beacon next round. If we don't build it this round. But I think we need to build more houses because we just don't have enough houses. So I think we have to try and do the beacon next round. So, just going to make sure that we're still on the Frostpunk soundtrack. We're not. What are we listening to? We're listening to Divinity. It just moved on to Divinity. Cool. Sorry, guys. I guess Spotify just decided to start shuffling. Here we go. Back to Frostpunk. Sorry about that. Right, that's on repeat now, so we won't just randomly start playing random... Now I'm definitely going to get content claimed, I think. We'll see. I've been talking a lot, so maybe it'll be fine. Alright, so that's... so we can send one of our workers over here anyway to grab these 2 bits of wood. Which I think will help us with our building actions. I like the idea of the engineer going up here to the workshop to move the... this token, so we get to do 2 workshop actions. The workshop actions are either upgrade a building, we're not going to do any of that right now, so instead we'll move this token. So that would be 1, and that would be 2. And you can do either upgrade, advance the development, one of each, or the same thing twice. Game music is often fine. Yeah, Difter, it's often fine, except when it's not. Larian are pretty good about it. I doubt they will claim it. Oh, thanks. That's good to know. I love Divinity, too. It's such a good game. Alright, anyway. Back to this. Right, what are we doing? Okay, so we've done that. So now we've got 2 actions left, and we're just building. So we've got 8 wood. And as much as I'd just like to build a bunch of houses, I think I should probably just, like... I think I should do... the medical post would be good to actually make. But how much capacity did we have? We had 2 for our 8 workers. Did I say 8? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 workers. Why have I only got 7 now? Who am I missing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I do have 8. So I need 6 capacity to shelter everyone. And I think we should try to do that. So 6 capacity is 3 buildings. So if I build 3 tents, that's 1 build action and also 6 wood. Which leaves me with only 3. Which is just enough to finish a hunter's house and a medical post. Good lord. Alright, so here are the tents. Yeah, I think it's just going to have to be like that. Woof. Okay. I'd like to do a bunkhouse instead of one of the tents, but then I can't build the hunter's hut or the medical post. And I just feel like I'm going to need those as well. So then we do... So that was a build action there, and then we do another build action. Do I have enough space to build these things? Do you know what, actually? Let's pop one of the tents out. But the tents are going to get wrecked. And then if we want to use them at all, we're going to need... Should be picking up this stuff to free up these spaces, is what I should be doing. What a fool. What a fool. So, the hunter's hut... We've got 2 more spaces in this sort of outer rim, so let's put the medical post. The medical post is too important, actually. I do think we should have the medical post here, because what we don't want is to need it in a pinch, and then we're getting sick going to the medical post. So let's put the tent out here. And there's the hunter's hut there. Okay, so there we've got the hunter's hut out here. And the medical post, which is... I think it's this building. Is it this building? Yeah, there we go. So now you can come and see all of our little buildings coming to life. Oh, the workshop. I didn't put the workshop out. There it is. This one is it. Yes. So if you're interested, there is our little town coming to life there, with all of our little buildings, etc., etc. And we're all out of actions, and we've spent all of our wood. So that's everything. Everything is done. So I guess we are moving on from the action phase. Dusk phase. Resolve the scenario and event. Okay, so we have none of that. So now we have to resolve a dusk card. So one of these I didn't look at, so I don't really know how bad it could potentially be. The other one I think will be alright, because we have more hope tokens than discontent tokens currently. Oh. What do you think, left or right? Right or left? Right or left? Figure says left. So we're doing left. Here we go. It is results of the survey. As it turns out, most of our citizens are concerned about similar things. Fair distribution of food, properly insulated shelters, and of course, the ever-encroaching cold. All in all, they seem to be pleasantly surprised that you'd taken such an interest in their wants and needs. It was seen as promising and showed that you care. Spirits are high. Activate all hope of one type or +1 hope. So we do have at the moment go away. We don't have, so that's effectively, this is +1 hope. So we can activate a token or have another hope token that is not activated. And yes, Haggers, well done. That is well. They're also complaining about a lack of Craftwork CDs. Yeah, we don't have... They're complaining about... they're complaining that of all of the survivors, not a single one of the survivors is a good singer. So, I think... Let's have one more hope token. I want another token, just because that kind of maxes my opportunities to sort of flip up various different things. Let's have a look and see what we got. We've got the one we're missing, which is motivation. We got a motivation token, so that's good. And that is, I think, the end of the dusk phase. That's all we're doing for now. So we're moving on to the hunger phase, where we are going to... Oh, I forgot to use the hunter's hut. That's fine. Hunger will go up a bit, but we'll get some more food, and then it'll be fine. So first off, there is no hunger currently, so that's fine. But there is about to be some hunger. So we have to feed the engineers. There are 12 engineers. So we can only feed 8. So this goes down, and this goes up to 4. And if we don't get 26 food by next round, there will be some starvation. So that's going to be a problem that I don't know how to solve. Why do people like this? It's so miserable. Right, night phase. Return expenses. So this is going to be, at least this problem we've solved. So everyone comes back to the center here. And do I take away? I don't take away the spent tokens yet, do I? Where's my missing person? There he is, over there. Misery likes company, yeah. So, there we go. So now at least we've got the child shelter, so that does up to 4 children. And then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 3 tents and a bunkhouse, all heated. So that's good as well. Because we've heated up everything. But we are, of course, now completely out of resources and everything is bad. But at least nobody's getting sick. So that's good. You can all have a good night's sleep. And with that, the end of the round. Boom, next round. Past leadership marker, not doing it. So now we can move the round marker and then resolve development and scenario tokens. And this is a good thing because we can advance this to here, which means we get this development token. And the development token can come down to... Where's my things? There we go. We'll use this one. Can come down to here, turning this on. So at least we're going to get a little bit more food. And because we've completed that, we can now get another thing. And I think we should actually research the Coal Thumper upgrade so that when we use it, we can also gain 2 coal, which I think makes it actually really good. Yeah, you have the heating on in this economy, exactly. So this is 3, so it has to move 3 on from where we currently are. So that's 1, 2, 3. So does that go on 6 or 7? I think it goes on 6, right? Yes, so that would be 3 more full rounds. So there we go. But we could actually technically bump that up a lot as well. Good. So I feel like I definitely should have taken away this spent token. I think when you take the guy off of the token, it goes away. So I'm going to get rid of that. Because otherwise I'll just get confused. So they can all stand back up as well. Stand back up. There's no reason not to. Good. So now we're on to the morning phase with the morning card. So let's see what surprise is in store for us this morning phase. A prophet! Oh my god. A child is having intense visions. Some people believe she is a prophet and that her words provide hope and should guide us in these terrible times. Her words should guide us in these terrible times, not yours. Oh dear. Others say that she's controlled by her mother she's controlled by her mother to coax food and fuel donations from her followers. What will you do? As long as she speaks our words, we can allow it. We will meet with her mother and make a deal about exactly what their needs are. Only if you spend 3 resources or 6 food, -1 discontent. Oh. I have 3 resources, but it's 2 steam cores and a coal. I don't have 6 food, so I don't think that's an option. Really. The impossible is possible. We shall let her continue for the sake of those who find comfort in her prophecies. +1 hope, but then add Dusk card 22 to the deck, which is probably like, oh, a cult is formed and they want to overthrow you. Finally, she must be stopped. We will meet with her mother and order her to put an end to this pitiful charade. +1 anger and add Dusk card 23 to the deck. Paul, like, burn the witch. Oh my god. Intense. Do you have any anger? I don't have any anger icons. But +1 anger would mean I'd draw a token, and then if it isn't anger, it would be activated, and if it's not, nothing would happen. But yeah, if we burn the witch, and then we can have some heat on the track, maybe. No, I don't really want to burn any children. This is probably why I'm going to fail this game, because I don't want to put the children to work, and I don't want to burn them. I'm not a big fan of 2. The impossible is possible. We should let her continue for the sake of those who find comfort in her prophecies. I'm not a big fan of false prophets, and I'm generally a skeptic. But +1 hope could be useful. We could use that to get some care, which we could use to heal people. So I feel like that's the lesser of the 2 evils. I don't really want to increase anger. I mean, I have a suspicion that Dusk card 22 is going to be bad repercussions in the long run. So it's like a benefit now and then punished later for letting these rumors propagate. Whereas a bit of anger now might benefit us in the long run because we didn't allow the cult to perpetuate. But some dark humor in chat today. You all feeling a bit grim at the moment, are you? Give a child a job and they'll be warm from 9 to 5, but set a child on fire and they'll be warm the rest of their life. I'm gonna get demonetized for sure. Doesn't matter about the game music. I'm gonna get demonetized anyway. Okay. Yeah, being very British today. Yeah. It is funny though. Okay, look, I think we should do option 2. And when the cult comes back to haunt us, you can all have a good laugh at my expense. That'll be fine. Right, where are we at? Oh, I don't seem to have... Oh, I do have Dusk card 22. There it is. So that gets put into the deck without us looking at it. I mean, we could look at it, I suppose. I don't remember if it says... So now we can have a +1 hope. So let's have some care so that we can flip that down to use our health advisor again, because we don't want people getting sick. Right, good. Morning card, resolved. And I think we can move on to the next step, which is the generator phase. Fuel the generator, right? We don't need to fuel the generator. The generator is very full of fuel. That's wrong. Where is the game app? There it is. Unlock that. Move that over here. Thank you. So, yeah. So we're just gonna... What is it? 4 tokens. So, drop the coal, check the drawer, reset the heat marker. Well, I'll reset the heat marker now, and then we'll go and do the generator. Doing a little bit out of order just because it's easier when you're filming. So here we go. Drop 4 cubes in here. And hopefully none of them will come out. And we'll just get stuck forever. Oh! Okay, so that's 1. Now we just put 4 in. And so there's actually 4 cubes stuck in the tower now. I think we should play Marrakesh with this tower, Paul. I think that would be really funny to play Marrakesh with this tower so that nobody can have any keshies. Right, so this one comes over here. And then we are going to... How high is your fluctuation of children? I think that might be a video game thing, Christian. I just have 2 children I have to look after. And if they die, everyone's going to get real depressed. So we're done the generator phase, so we're into the weather phase, I believe. Yes. Reveal a weather card. And what I'm going to do actually is also I'm going to move this technology card over here to remind me that it has an effect in the weather phase. So what we can do with this is weather phase, gain 1 food for each map tile depicting a food bonus. There are 3, so we can have 3 food, which is going to help because we need 26. So only 23 more to go. Great. Right, and so that's so now we're going to reveal our weather card. Hopefully it's not as bad as the last one. It is. It's just as bad. Great. Oh, these are all the ones with the really good expedition numbers on as well. Gosh darn it. So we get 1 more food. What's the correct order for this, actually, though? Reveal that. Advance the indicators. So that goes up. Everything else goes up. So there we go. I've done that. And then we would get to advance. We get 1 food. So food goes up to 4. It's only 22 more to go. And then we get to advance 4 on the expedition. But we're not doing any expeditions. I should have set out on the expeditions. I knew I should have done that. Curses. Should I have enacted one of those laws that get me all the buildings, by the way? And then the storm doesn't move, which is great. So it means I guess I can use my tents a bit longer, I suppose. So that's the weather phase resolved. Preparation phase. So yeah, I think we'll use the advisor again just because I'm paranoid about everyone dying. So there's the care marker I've just flipped over there. And we will go ahead and I think we shall just give a little bit of care back to both of our guys there. I've got sickness under control in this game. The last game, wild sickness, rampant sickness. Sickness is relatively under control in this one. However, food, not good. Food, bad. Food was much more under control in my last game. In this game, big problem with food. At least we have a sort of a plan, though. So we've resolved the sickness we activated the advisor. Now we resolve the sickness markers. Fortunately, we don't have any sickness to resolve. I got sickness under control. Famous last words. Yeah, diphtheria. I know. Shouldn't have jinxed it. Right, so now we're on to the action phase again. So adjust the number of meeples in the supply, put them on the spent tokens, but there aren't any, and then perform actions. So we need to build the beacon. We need coal and wood ASAP. So let's have a quick look at our citizen cards and see if we have any useful citizen cards we can use. We've got the deploy scouts action. That could be useful just because we've got the beacon all, but I don't know. I don't know if we've got the construct action that lets us move a building. Which could be useful to move the gathering post because now it's just picking up these 2 coal and it's just going to get 1, so that's not useful at all anymore. I'm kind of tempted to do a little bit of removing of snow around here and here because I think putting a gathering post out here could be really useful, or particularly over here, just because we've got such a big amount of resources over there. We also need to we've got the medical post, which is good, I guess. It would be good to build a wall drill over here so we can get 3 wood from here. That would be, I think, a really good thing to do. That costs 5 wood and a... No, I'm not going to have enough wood. I 8 wood. Where am I going to get 8 wood? I'm not going to get 8 wood. I'll tell you what. Let's remove some snow. I immediately regret where I put the hunter's hut. But it's fine. Oh, actually, I don't know if it matters. Yeah, let's go out here and here and here. And see what happens, I think. We are going to get some sickness on the workers, but then we can go to the medical post and maybe heal them. So here's a worker for 2 near tiles for here and here. And as a result, we get 1 sickness. So they go up to 4. Let's see what we got. Hopefully something quite good. Hopefully some food. No food, but lots of wood. Well, not lots of wood, but a reasonable amount of wood. More wood and a little bit of coal. Not much, really, actually. Kind of terrible tiles. Jeez. Kind of awful. Oh yeah, it's freezing cold, and I only have 1 coal as well, actually. I can't do anything at the moment. In fact, actually just gathering coal to turn on the generator is going to cause sickness. That's depressing. That's super depressing. But I think we're going to have to do that as well. Also, do we have the... If we use the workshop, we can also get the coal thumper technology next round. And a coal thumper is only 3 wood. So I think building a coal thumper could be really useful. We have no space for any of this, of course. That's a big problem. Pedro's asking, how long does it take to play the game? Yeah, good question. But Johnny's never got to the final objective. He just said he's never actually finished one of these. Survived one of these. So Johnny, how long do these games normally take you to die? So, let's, what are we doing? Let's set a worker over here to get coal. That's going to generate a sickness. But now we've got 3 coal, which we can, 3 coal in total. So we'll pump that over here to go 1, 2, 3, and now we can at least, so there's our sickness. So we do need to sort out these workers as well. But that's a good start at least. I do want to clear 1 more snow. Oh god, so few actions. Why didn't we enact child labor? I mean, damn it. I believe in morality. So I'm just going to put 1 more near far tile out here. Or maybe we put the far tile here. The reason I want to put it here is because potentially big scope for moving the sawmill and also more resources for the gathering post. Yeah, no, I've talked myself into it, because we're doing the coal thumper before we do the coal mine anyway, because I want the wall drill before the coal mine, and they're both really expensive. So, here we go. Oh, yeah, okay. Yes, no, this worked out quite well, actually. We've got 1 steam core here, and 2 trees here and here. So, yeah, let's see, what are we going to do now? Are we going to build? We need more coal. Do I not have any useful citizens? How has this happened? Why don't I have any useful citizens? I mean, I do have useful citizens, but... What does the medical post do exactly? Cure 3. So, how is that different to... Oh, this lets me... No, wait. How is that different to... Oh, okay, this lets you do it with a worker. Right. I was like... I've got this citizen card, which is Cure 3 of 1 type of citizen. And I was like, how is this different from the normal action? But you can do it with a worker instead of an engineer. So if your Titan engineers this round, that could help you out, I guess. Okay, so we also need food. I haven't even dealt with the food problem. I mean, I think we just try to stock up on as much food as possible. But realistically, we can only get 4 unless we build more hunters' huts. Which we could do. We could build more hunters' huts. What we need now is more coal, though, because we can't do shit without more coal. So, I can't get more coal here, because there's already a worker there. Damn it! Oh, that means I can't get more coal without sickness. Oh, this is super super bad. But I suppose if I'm going to accept sickness, I can go and get coal from anywhere. So where do we go to get coal? If we're going to accept sickness. We go up here, right? Because then we have space to build the sawmill. Right, that's one more sickness for the workers. So they're on 6 now. And then we just throw these straight to the generator. Which means that the generator's going up to here. So we still don't have insulation on the outer ring for things that aren't red. Which is fine. Jonathan says, yes. The game takes all day. I made the mistake of playing twice in one day when it first arrived and was playing until 4 a.m. Yeah, I mean, Pedro, I played about 8 rounds before I died before, and I reckon it probably took about 5 or 6 hours, but I hadn't played before. So a big part of that was learning the rules and reading through the rule book and setting up the first time. Having said that, we've done 3 rounds and it's been 2 hours and 20 minutes, although there was some setup as well. I've probably been actually playing for about an hour 20 and I've done 3 rounds. So yeah, it's a long game. And I don't know if it gets much faster. Like, often things are slower on stream, which is definitely true, but I don't know if it gets massively faster when you're just really focused on your own. Maybe. I don't know. This is only my second game. Anywho, now I think we need to gather some wood. So, we can build another gathering post. And I think actually also... We can't move the sawmill to somewhere where there's a worker, can we? Using that citizen card. To a valid build space. Yeah, great. So we'll have to do that next time. Oh my god. We just need to get the beacon built now. I've changed my mind. That's my priority now, is just get that beacon built. So that we don't get the sad objective. Right, so... Yeah, we don't want the sad objective. So let's build the thing. Yeah, we can probably destroy this gathering post as well, because we don't... the gathering post here, because we don't really need that. So let's have a think here. Remaining actions. We need to get food. We need to get the medical. And then we need to build, and we also need the resources to build the... We need 3 wood, which we can't get. We can't do all of those things. So we have just enough food not to be massively punished. But then we're going to be massively behind on food. We're already going to be massively behind on food. Yikes. If we do 2 build actions, we can build a gathering post, use the gathering post, build again. We still won't have enough wood. We really need to move that sawmill. Okay. Oh, there's not enough actions. Child labor is a necessity. There's nothing in the laws that are going to help me either this round, I don't think. So, what was the care house? Oh, the care house is quite good, actually. Maybe we should get that law as well at some stage. Yeah, these are all nice to haves, though, these laws. I'm sure that the makeshift shelters is going to become incredibly important. Yeah, the new faith might be a good one to have, actually. At some stage. Oh, the Faith Keepers is the building that allows you to do what the social guy does. You, lol, we warned you, says Pedro. Hey, look, alright. You don't, Pedro, don't make me... I'm not going to do child labor. I'm not going to do it. I'm just not. So, let's have a think here. Where are we going to go for wood, then? So, wood is really precious. Oh, there's 2 wood over here, though. So let's, so this guy goes over here and collects 2 wood from here. Because we've got loads of wood there anyway. And then this guy goes over here and collects 2 wood from here. And then this guy goes to build. And we build the beacon for 4 wood. And the beacon doesn't matter a jot where it is, so we put it out here. For 3 wood, he builds the beacon. I'm just debating the efficiency of picking up 2 wood. No, that's fine, actually. Difter, don't worry, that little girl, the prophet, she's gonna come back and oust me in due course. And then, you know, you'll all have your new leader. The visions of the little girl will prove completely prophetic, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. Okie dokie. So, yes, what was I doing? Right, so we built the beacon, which means we need our beacon miniature to depict the beacon. Here it is. Our wonderful new beacon to light the way to the other people so that we're not, like, super depressed being all lonely all the time. So... Come on, beacon. There we go. There's our beacon right there. Look how big and tall and exciting it is. What a wonderful beacon. And then the other thing we're going to do is use our last wood to build another gathering post, which will be up here. So I have to get rid of this piece of wood, which is a shame, but I think we need to get this gathering post out now while we have the capacity. I would like to build another hunter's hut, but I think this is more important, so because we really need a plan to get our wall drill in place so we can get lots of wood. Because, as you can see, we're already running out of wood on the map. And that's a problem! There's more coal, although we also don't have any coal. Look, it's all a problem, okay? Don't at me. We should have 1 corpse as well, shouldn't we? Don't we start with a corpse? Yes, we should have started with a corpse. So I've rectified that issue. Oh, that means I should have had... I did get 1 sick citizen. I did do that correctly, because I thought I was on 1. I just had the token in the wrong place. Or I didn't. You'll know, because it's on the internet. And if I didn't take a sickness when I should have, that's my bad. Anyway, our last action is to go to the medical post and to cure 3, which is here. So that's going to go down to 3. Good. All right. Everything is not horribly miserable for now. And with that in mind, we're ready to move on to the dusk phase. And I'm going to take a quick comfort break, so I'll be right back. And while I'm gone, because I'm not going to be chit-chatting over the music, just so the algorithm doesn't upset itself, I'll put on the royalty-free music for you all to listen to. So, here is royalty-free music. And I'll be right back. Hello. I've returned. You surprised? Oh, it looks like we've lost the feed from the camera. Not the camera, the phone that was sending over the app. There we go. Now it's back. Voila. I fixed it. Anyway. Here's the music from the game. The depressing Frostpunk music's back. To be all depressing and such. And then the game is back too. Here's the game now. Here we go. Right. We've just completed the action phase. So, it is now the dusk phase. We have 2 cards. They're probably both bad. So once again, I shall ask you. I'm moving them around off screen. Which one? Left or right? Actually, one of these is probably not too bad, but the other is probably quite bad. Right. Everyone says right. Difter says top. Thanks, Difter. Jonathan, too bad you've been outvoted. So now you get the satisfaction to know whether or not you would have made a better guess. Here we go. It's The Prophet Rises. Oh, yeah. Okay. Here's also known as My Comeuppance. Come on, camera. The number of those who heed the words of the child prophet grows each day. Her voice works against you. Something needs to be done. Plus greed, lose 2 resources. Well, that's a fucking disaster. It ends now. She and her mother will be ordered to stop. If they won't, they will be banished. +1 anger. Take that card anyway. Or in the dusk. Or the prophet's wishes must be fulfilled. If not, we will all be doomed. So I can become a cultist. Spend 2 food. If you cannot, -1 hope. We need to stop this now. Let's just go straight to that. This is going to be awful. The reason this is a disaster is because the 2 resources I lose are my 2 steam cores, the really valuable things that I desperately need. So, okay, that's a big kick in the teeth. I knew I shouldn't have. I knew I should have just gone straight to the anger. I don't know why I didn't. I should have. I shouldn't have. I should have. It's just it's the same result. What's annoying about this is it's the exact same result anyway. So actually, +1 greed. And +1 anger. It's just the worst. It postponed nothing. It's fine. No, I made this choice. I mean, I presume that the steam cores count as resources, right? I don't see why not. Let me have a quick look. I'll check real quick. If there's a catch-all for a term for resources that... no, I'm pretty... Yeah, no, I'm confident you can, because... I'm confident you can, because they're all held in the same resource pool. I don't know why I put this off, to be honest, because I just wind up in the same result. It's just much worse now. And it didn't even put it off for like all of a turn. Not that it mattered. It would have come back around and been... The thing is, I could have gotten rid of it if I'd had the other advisor or if I'd had the Faith Keepers. We could have gone into the deck and actually just deleted this card. But there wasn't enough time. We were too busy trying to survive. But this is going to really set us back. So that's a real bummer. I don't know where I'd even look for a definition of the term resources in here, so I'm just going to assume. Oh yeah, no, it's it says yeah, no, the problem is, Hexy, I have no resources other than the 2 steam cores. They're the only resources I have. I've used everything else. So I have to lose these 2. Yeah, because you gather steam cores with the gather resource action, so I'm confident that it means that they are resources. So that's a disaster. And we're going to get 2... so anyway, here's our thing. So we're going to get 1 thing coming out, so it's another apathy one, and then this activates, and then we're going to get another one. So effectively, by the choice I made earlier, which happens to be an anger 1, this was part of +1 anger. Oh, sorry, +1 greed earlier wouldn't have turned that on. So actually, we've got no greed, but then we just got +1 anger, which would activate this. So, yeah, that was a terrible choice. It just, instead of, it gained me nothing. No, it gained me two sickness. It allowed me to use the health advisor. So I was able to cure 2. So I guess we avoided a critically ill worker, but at the cost of 2 steam cores and 2 discontent, which is not worth it at all. And now we've also got card 23 in the deck anyway, so it's kind of taken us to the same place. I don't want to think. Well, John, Paul says I will lose by round 6, Johnny. So that's his. So I guess it's the over-under is on round 6. What was it? Card 23? There it is. Don't know what that does. Probably terrible. Maybe we should get the Faith Keepers and get rid of it. Right. So that is the Dusk phase resolved. What a bummer. And now we go into the next phase, which is to decrease hunger by food. So again, this is the other of our 2 bad. I mean, this was looking really good, and now it's really bad. So the hunger goes down because the food goes down. We had 4 and 4, but now we're completely unable to feed the workers. So now we have 22 hunger that we have to deal with as well, which is 4 dead people if we don't get that down. Yikes. And also 25 hunger is game ending, by the way. Although not immediately, but if after... So yeah, we need to sort that hunger situation out. Yeah, this is all really bad, actually. This might be a really short stream. I thought we were going to have to do a part 2, but I'm guessing we probably won't have to do a part 2 after all. Right. There's everyone back into the center there. Fortunately, we still have enough heating for everyone, so we don't generate any sickness right now. And we go on to a new round, which sees us get to, if we come up here, get that, we get to get rid of that. This will advance onto here, which means we now get to read what happens if we constructed the beacon. Which is +1 hope or -1 discontent. Reveal scenario card 2. So I think in this instance we should take -1 discontent. And I believe we can choose the discontent token to get rid of. So we should get rid of this one. So there we go. And yes, because obviously if we get up to 6, then the game immediately ends and we all lose. And then scenario card 2 is resolved. Finding Winterhall. The beacon's light guided refugees scattered from across the frozen wasteland to our settlement. Amongst them were scouts from Winterholm, as it turns out the nearest occupied settlement. However, the news they brought is alarming. They say no other beacons were lit, not even the one at Winterholm. What has happened to Winterholm? Place scenario card 5 white side up in the expedition display, and then choose A or B. Let the refugees enter our city. +1 hope, gain 5 workers, 1 engineer, and 3 children. Or send them to look for another place to live. -1 hope. So the advantage of this is we get... do we get any more... So if we take these people in, we will gain 1 more child, who is useless. We'll gain 1 engineer, which is not really helpful. But we'll gain 5 workers, which is 1 more worker, which is actually another action. It's also a lot more people to feed. Screw it. Let's do it. Let's do it. +1 hope. What are we going to take for hope? We don't need the health advisor right now, so... I think we should take a hope token. We don't have enough food, Difter. This is probably how I'm going to lose. Try to feed everyone. Okay. 3 children. 1 engineer. And 5 workers. Yeah, no. That's it. I've just made the decision that will end the game. But don't worry. It'll be fine. What we've done here is we have resolved... We're going to lose by starving everyone to death. It's fine. Actually, do you know what I suspect will happen before everyone starves to death? I actually think what's going to happen is so many people are going to die that will generate a massive amount of discontent and lose that way. I actually think that's probably more likely. Okay, so we've resolved the scenario card, which means this token goes away, this lives here, and this comes out. Or via corpses. No, because we've already... I think the corpse token is still on 1 out of 10. So I don't think we'll get to 10 corpses before we either starve to death, or more likely 4 people die. That generates 3 discontent, and we lose that way. I think that's how we'll go. But maybe we'll get enough food to just keep this low enough. It's not going to happen. Anyway, right, what's next? The mourning phase. So we get mourning card. Let me find out what this is. Comfort the sick. There's been talk among the people. They want better conditions for those in need. It is probable what helped us survive in the first place. It is probably what helped us survive in the first place. We took care of the weak and the sick. Promise you will take care of it. +1 care. Add 7 to the Dusk card deck. Place this event in the event display. Action phase. Each time you perform this action, take 1 more wood or coal from the supply and place it on this card. 1 or more wood or coal from the supply. Ignore this demand. +1 discontent. Each time you perform this action, take 1 or more wood or coal from the supply and place it on this card. 1 or more. I don't know what that means. Am I supposed to be reading the Dusk cards as I put these out? I assume no. Each time you perform this action, take 1 or more wood and or coal from the supply and place it on this card. You're not supposed to see them until they come out of the deck, by the way. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. So, I guess I don't know how to parse this card then. Because I don't know what that means. So I can take the action with either a worker or an engineer. But I don't. It says take 1 or more wood and or coal. Maybe it doesn't matter what I put on the card. We'll see. I'll figure it out, as we go. So do I want to take the discontent and just not bother with this? Oh, yeah, no, I understand how the card works, Johnny. I just don't understand whether I put wood or coal on it. I think it's probably, if you put a worker on the card, put a wood on the card. If you put an engineer on the card, put a coal on the card. But I've literally just made that up because the text is not clear at all. Each time you perform this action, take 1 or more wood and or coal from the supply and place it on this card. Can I just put as much as I want on the card? I take it from the supply, so it doesn't come from my reserve. So I don't know why I wouldn't just load it up with wood and coal. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't say 1 per... It just says 1 or more. Each time you perform this action, take 1 or more wood and or coal from the supply. Doesn't make any sense. The special actions are always heated, Johnny. Special actions are always heated. That I definitely know from the rules. Okay, so anyway, here's Dust Card 7. If only Paul hadn't gone to bed. If only Paul wasn't sick, too. Everyone's sick. Alright, there's card number 7 anyway. Right? Yes, that was card number 7. So we'll add that in to the Dusk deck. I guess we're going to try to take care of the sick, even though we're running out of food and we're all going to starve to death. Okay, so that's the morning card resolved. Now we're going to fuel the generator. We don't need to fuel it anymore, which is fine because we're all out of everything. I can't believe I lost all my steam cores. What a disaster. So we don't get any more sick citizens at least. But we do have 4 coal cubes to drop into the generator. Wop, 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 wop. Here we go. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. Whee! And 3 came out. Which means I think we now have 5 stuck in the generator. So that's good. Don't knock the table. Okay, so there's 6 down here now. We can only take 4 more. I wonder if we risk letting it go one more time before we clear it. Try to use that card to get 8 out of it. Right, and then the heat marker goes back down to 0. Cool. And now we reveal a weather card. I don't like it. So we're gonna get this going up by 1, this going up by 1, and this going up by 1. And then we're going to get 4 food. So we only need like 20 more not to lose the game. We're going to lose the game next round. And then the weather token moves on 1. Cool. The storm token, sorry. My bad. That's the end of that. So now we can choose an advise. Well, we can. Well, we can't. We don't have. So now we resolve sickness markers, but we actually. I mean, we could use the advisor, but we don't have the care hope token. But we. SSC, this game's about 4 hours. I actually think I did better last time, even though I was just letting everyone get sick. So anyway, we don't have any sickness markers to resolve, so that's fine. We can't use the advisor, so that's fine. So now we're back to the action phase. Right, so we need to... Oh, we didn't put out the scenario card. Damn it. Sorry, scenario card 5 should have come out, which is this one, Path to Winterholm. So the beacon is... so we can go to Winterholm as a big, long expedition to investigate what's going on in Winterholm. Which we'll probably do. In fact, we can just send a person to do that right away. The first thing we do in the actions phase, though, is we check the right number of citizens. We actually have 1 more worker now, so they come out, and then we can send them off to Winterholm to do this exploration. That'll take them a while to get there, and it'll probably be awful and miserable. Cool. So every action has a consequence. Yeah, I know, Johnny. I know. The thing about this game is everything leads to something else. You get more workers, need more food. You see, yeah, I know. I still think this. Anyway, we can. So we need to power the heater. We're gonna get some sickness now as we try to basically gather enough resources to power the heater even just a little bit. The big problem is we've run out of all of our steam cores. So let's go and grab the coal on the outer rim, I suppose, of the map. Because it doesn't really matter. We're going to get sick anyway. So if we take a couple of workers and we go here and here, we do need a long-term plan to resolve this. But that's going to be 2 sickness for the workers. So they go up to 5. And then We can throw that into the generator, which gets us 1, 2, 3, 4 up to here, which is not really enough, but it's just enough to go and use. Oh, it's not even enough to use the gathering post. Oh, this is so wildly inefficient. What is this? Round 3? This is round 4. How do you do this any more efficiently? I probably could have soaked a bit more sickness, and maybe I should have built something else sooner. Good God. Let's have a think here. There's so many actions just to generate the heater, so we don't just... Do you know what? I'm thinking maybe we just actually don't do that. If we're going to get sick anyway, maybe we just don't do that. Do something else instead. Try to be a bit more efficient here, because the situation is grave. And we can soak a bit of sickness, I think. No one's even gravely ill yet. You know? So with that in mind, maybe we just go straight to the gathering post here. Which does get us 2 coal anyway. And that's 1 sickness. And that was there and there and there and there. And we might as well throw that into the generator. And then we've got the 2 wood left over here to do something with. Our objective this round... Why have I... Oh, my... Hold tight. Having a little bit of a technical issue here. Let's see if we can resolve it. It's just Windows being stupid. Yeah, at least the children didn't die before everything fell apart, Difter. You're not wrong. I refuse to... I mean, the thing is, if you have to enact child labor to win, then that's no good. Yeah. I don't know why I've lost connection on my headset here for some reason. The computer's just being annoying. Alright, so let's have a look here. What problem? You don't have to, says Johnny. Well... We've never won, Johnny, have we? So that's a problem. Right, so what we really need is a hothouse. If we're not going to lose, we need a hothouse. Losing those steam cores, absolute tragedy. Complete disaster. We need the wood. We don't have enough actions to do any of the stuff we need to do. Okay, so let's see. So now that we've got 2 wood, what we can do is we can send this guy over to construct, and we can play that citizen card that lets us move the thing. So where's that citizen card? Right. So this is a worker construct action. It says perform the action as normal, except you may use 2 sub-actions to move a small building without the... So, to move a small building. So, we play this, we move the sawmill over here. And we use one of our remaining construct action with this wood to build a hunter's hut here. Right, and we don't get generate any sickness either. Good. So, We've got 1 wood left. So now we're going to have to send this worker... Oh, we still need 3 coal for people to stop freezing to death, and I just don't see it happening. I mean, actually, we need 1 coal just to stop people from freezing to death on the red buildings. I've only got 1 red building, though. So I think, yeah, like I said before, we just kind of have to soak the sickness this round in order to try and solve the food issue. It's just kind of a bummer. So we send this guy off to the sawmill. That generates a sickness. And then we chop down the tree, we get 3 wood. Then we go to here to get the steam core. That's another sickness. Oh, that's police coming over here. And then... Okay, so what are we on? We're on 22 food. So... God, but we're gonna have such a wood problem if we don't build. Well, we can go 1 more turn without building the wall drill. 1 more turn, and that's it. Oh, losing those steam cores though, what an absolute travesty. Absolute travesty. So, what's the cost to upgrade a hunter's hut? 1 wood. Okay. So, this guy goes out here and collects this wood. Gets sick. And then... this guy... we haven't upgraded the generator yet, right? No, we haven't upgraded the generator yet, Difter. We need a steam core for that, and we have a steam core shortage. So hopefully the generator will not overheat this round, and we'll be able to use our citizen with the 8... hopefully we'll only have 2 cubes drop out, basically. If more than 2 cubes drop out... Actually, no, that's fine. We can handle up to 4. So I think we've got 1 more round, and then we can use that citizen... where is he? Derek Algier. We can use Derek Algier to remove 8 stress cubes. So that would be fine. Yeah, so now we're going to send an engineer out to the workshop. We're going to move this token up here for one of our marketing actions. For one of our workshop actions. So we can get the Coal Thumper upgrade next round. Because we need coal. We've got a bad time with coal. And then we need to take the second action to upgrade for 1 wood one of the hunter's huts. It doesn't really matter which one. They're all kind of the same. So let's just upgrade this one. And then our last 2 actions are as follows. This engineer comes and does the build action, and he builds a hot house. Oh no, shit, I need people to actually do the food actions. Shit, I've been too... I have not prioritized correctly. Okay, undo the workshop action. As nice as it would be, I do not have the manpower for it. So, if I undo the workshop action, we don't get to upgrade the hunter's hut, and we don't get to advance that token, but we have our engineer back, and actually, then we don't need this wood. So actually, we've got 3 guys left there. We're still not going to have enough food. But there's nothing in here that helps us with food, right? No. So maybe we don't set off to Winterholm this round? Then when are we going to go, though? Do you know what I mean? Let's have a look here. So we can get 11 food this round now from here. 11's going to put us from 4 onto 15. Before the next... But then the hunger phase is after, isn't it? Yeah, so 15 and 22 puts us on 7. That's a death and an anger. So really we want 3 more food if we can get it. Yeah, okay. So we don't even set off to Winterholm, so we don't take the scout action at all this round. We'll do that after. It's just a shame we're going to lose a card. And then I'll probably draw a bunch of zeros knowing my luck, but I think this is the better course of action anyway. So we'll send a worker to do the construct action. We'll build the hot house. And we will use one of our tokens as well to dismantle this gathering post because we don't need it anymore. So the gathering post goes away. Back to here. And we replace it with the hot house, which I already picked up from here. So there it is. Hot house. Where's the hot house? There it is. Right, now we have 3 more people, so we're going to go into the hot house. That's a sickness. We're going to get so much sickness from here as well, because I haven't helped anyone. We're going to go into the hunter's lodge over here and over here as well. So it's another sickness for the engineer and another for that guy. And now we are going to get 15 food, which puts us up to 19 food. And that's the end of that. The action phase. I've not seen the Pauline Grogan card yet, Jonathan. It's nice that they named them after all the people they know. Or who worked on the game, I guess. Right. Next phase. Dusk phase. Now we've got 3 Dusk cards here. One of these is actually going to be helpful, potentially. And the other 2 are probably going to be bad. So... Come on, folks. 1, 2, or 3. Shall I put a little poll up? If I can remember how to post a poll. Here we go. Choose our fate. This could very well determine whether we win or lose, probably. I don't know. Seems like everything does. I see 6 people looking on, so I want to see 6 votes. I can't believe it's going to cost me all the resources remaining on the board, basically, to build the wall drill. Otherwise, I'm just so screwed. I get a few more votes before I close the poll. See if anything swings it, or if we're going to... Difter, you can't vote for. You cannot. You're not allowed to vote for. I am just futzing with still trying to fix this audio issue while I wait for these votes to come in. 3 vote. Everyone's voting 2, so I guess we'll just have to go with 2. Dun, 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 dun. Where's my... Can I change this here? You guys lose the music. Please let me know. I can't hear it anymore. Where's the setting I'm looking for? I haven't had music for ages, I don't think. Okay, good to know. It's back. Okay, good to know. I just can't hear it. For some reason. I wonder if I just need to... This could be any number of OBS is a funny piece of kit issues. Well, I still can't hear it, but that's fine. Let's press on. So everyone wanted card number 2. I'm ending the poll. So card number 2 is this one right here in the middle. So hopefully this is not the game-ending card. Let's find out right now. Did you stay true to your word? By demand of the citizens, oh, I totally forgot about this. If there are resources on this card, go to 1. No, I did not stay true to my word. I could not do it. For each sickness marker above 4, that's 2, remove a resource or -1 hope. Right, I don't have any resources. So can I choose to just give up no resources? I'm pretty sure... So this is an interesting rules thing, actually. I wish Jonathan... Jonathan, I wish Paul was still here, because it does say in the rules, you can, if you would lose resources, and you can't, then... If all resources were removed, -1 hope. Fine. So... remove 1 resource or -1 hope. Right, I don't have any. If all resources were removed, -1 hope. Place all resources into the bank, remove it from the game. Okay, fine. So, that's fine. I mean, I basically -1 hope. I forgot to pay the resources for the whole house, so that's what I was doing there. So I cannot... Yeah, so I don't have any on the card. I did not meet my goal, so I could have had some free resources and stuff. That feels actually a relatively light punishment, to be honest. -1 hope. So do we lose our last remaining justice? No. Let us lose 1 of our justice tokens instead, and we'll just drop the others down. Fine. And that goes out of the game as well, I presume. Okay, well, I feel like we got off relatively lightly there, to be honest, to be quite frank. Next phase is hunger phase. Right, so now we decrease hunger by available food. So we go down to 3. This goes down to 0. And then the 3 food... Now we have to resolve the hunger, which is... I think it's going to be 1 discontent. I'm pretty sure that's what that is. So after resolving it, we still have 3 hunger left. But we did manage to make an awful lot of food, but we did spend the whole round doing it. Yeah, so we have to increase discontent. So I guess I'm just going to increase apathy. And hope that that's not... All that apathy isn't going to come back and bite me in the ass at some stage. And then, does the hunger marker reset to 0? I think it does, if you resolve the bottom part. I think it goes back to 0, but I'm not sure. Yeah, move the hunger back to 0. And now I can't feed any of the citizens. And this round I'm feeding children. I have 11. So this goes down to 0 and back up to 11. Fortunately, now we have a hothouse. We should be able to gain some more ground here, I hope. But anyway, that's all done. So we're now on to the night phase. So everyone's going to come and sleep. Fortunately, there's not been a storm yet, so we can still shelter everybody, although we haven't managed to build any houses. And we still haven't managed to solve the wood problem, and nobody's gone on an expedition. And actually, I've got one new worker now, don't I? I should also have another child. I forgot to put the child out. Doesn't matter, because there's a child shelter. But this does mean we're going to have one more sickness, because I have now got one more worker. So I guess... let's let it be the engineer, because the worker's very close to going into 10 sickness, which is bad. Very bad. Then we start losing work actions. Not long till the storm. Yeah, you're also right about that, Johnny. Then we're going to lose all of our tents, and we're going to be in trouble. This is relentlessly tragic. But that's fine. At least everyone managed to have... Everyone but one person managed to have a bed. So now we're back to the beginning of a new round. Which means, we get to resolve nothing. Actually, this round we're resolving nothing. There we go! Yikes. Yep, nothing to resolve this round. So, morning card. Please be nice. Work safety issues. Why can't I get the ones that are nice? Are there any of these that are nice? Our citizens are concerned about poor working conditions and the lack of safety standards. That's your concern. Sure. Yeah, priorities, people. Come on. We must provide safe working conditions to prevent accidents. Our engineers will take care of this. Place a spent engineer in the supply, or... This is no time for... this. We must work as fast as possible without worrying about potential accidents. No, spend the engineer token. I don't want to... someone's gonna die. Look, when I didn't deal with the child prophet, it was a disaster. Just use the engineer, okay? And then get this out of here. Good. Done. So now we're... Oh yeah, everyone's gonna get sick again. Shit. Oh, this is real bad. Everything's getting real bad. Oh no, I don't have any heat. Yeah, this is just the slow decline. Everyone want to watch the slow decline for another 2 hours? Okay, so we've got to fuel the generator. I have nothing to fuel it with. So now we're going to get 4 sickness. 2 workers are sick, so that goes up to 10, which is bad. 1 engineer is sick, and 1 child is sick as well. We still somehow, despite having only... I mean, I would have been better off not moving the token at all. In fact, why did I move it up at all? Hang on. Why have I moved this at all? I got nothing for moving it. I've spent 2 coal to move this up here. Who even went to get that coal? No, I'm sorry. I'm not gonna... I'm having a little retcon. I'm taking my 2 coal back. Oh, it's to prevent 1 sick child. No, that's fine. Let the child be sick. I need this coal. Because now I don't have to throw anything into the generator, and that's better. It's a minor retcon. I'm sure you won't begrudge me that, given how dire everything is. Which means I don't actually have to drop any coal in here. But I do now have sick children, and they're going to start dying soon, so that's bad. But we'll deal with that. That's tomorrow's problem. Fine. Yeah, everyone is cold. But there was no point in going up 2 steps. I think at some stage I decided last round that I just wasn't going to deal with that. I was just going to let everyone be sick for a round because we needed food more desperately. Anyway, right, moving on. Weather card. Oh, if this is like an Expedition 4, I'll be cross. Oh, no, yes, god damn it. Everything is bad. Mike 3 hours ago, think of the children. Now Mike, sick children, who cares? Look, the point is, Difter, that at least they don't have to work. They may be sick, but at least they don't have to work. But Zero Storm, yeah, Jonathan, but the problem is, once I set off on this quest to Winterholm, I'm going to have used up all the 4 cards, and then it's going to take me a million years to get there. And also, these all keep advancing. This is rough. I'd rather just... Well, this, I suppose... I don't know. I don't think there's any good options here. Anyway, we get... what do we get? 4 food. 5 food. We get 5 food. That, at least there's that. So, yeah, 5 food. Okay, and that's everything. Choose an advisor. Yeah, that's fine. We can't... Oh, and now resolve sickness effects. Yeah, this is bad, because we're going to get a spent worker token. And then we're going to have to flip almost... And then these two are both going to become gravely ill. I don't think we can stop a worker dying, if I'm quite frank. You have too many workers anyway. Yeah... No, I don't have enough workers. I don't have enough people to do anything. Alright, we're back into the action phase. God, what is the priority this round? Good lord. 6 is too many workers? Do you think so, Johnny? I feel like I don't have nearly enough actions. Should I have automatons instead? Triple L's like, this is bleak. Yeah, this is bleak. I might just be bad at it though, Triple L. No, I think it's always like this, to be honest. Last time I played, these ones over here did not move up nearly this quickly. But then the storm marker came back really fast. Everyone was a lot sicker last round as well. Oh yeah, I also have to do this. These 2 actions are just lost. Right. Do I have any laws I can enact that might help me? I feel like I haven't enacted enough laws. Food additives. Once per round at the start of the hunger phase, you may spend 2 food to reduce hunger by 10 if you do +1 greed. That might have been good. Heated meals. When you perform an action with a citizen meal, you may spend 2 food to count the action as heated. That's also good. Right. So... I guess... I mean, there's probably useful laws in there. What are we going to do this round? We don't need the stress guy yet. Probably need to... I mean, I feel kind of like we just use this person here to... oh, this might be... Actually, do you know, in the preparation phase, maybe I should use Call to Rise, because I do have 4 hope tokens, and that's 3 new citizen cards. So let's do that. Right before the action phase, we'll use Call to Rise and get 3 new citizen cards. I feel like maybe we'll get something good that we can use, like Childs, to put the children to work. Everything we got. Marshall Primshow, use the medical post. Perform this action as normal. You may then spend 3 food to cure 2. So let's cure some more people. Don't have a lot of excess food right now. We've got Davida Hen. This is also the same medical thing. Perform the cure effect. And then treat 1. That's actually really useful. Good night, Johnny. Thanks for hanging out. Video will be here when you come back. And then we've got Agers Hunterville, another engineer action. This is the platform. Perform this action as normal, except you may choose which of the 2 law consequences. Perform this action as platform. Perform this action as normal, except you may choose which of the 2 law consequence cards to shuffle into the Dusk deck. Which of the 2 law consequence cards? Oh, I think I've skipped the law consequence cards. No, have I? Oh, yes, I have. I've skipped the law consequences entirely. That's fine. We actually only have 1 card we were supposed to shuffle in. I completely forgot about it. Allow me to explain it real quick. I'm surprised nobody called me out in this, actually. Well, not you guys, but Paul, specifically, when he was here. These are the law consequence cards. So, right, so as a result of child shelter, I think do we randomize it? Bear with me, one moment. So these are more Dusk cards, and basically whenever you enact a law, there are consequences. You have to go in here and find the consequences and shuffle them into the deck there. And I forgot to do it when I enacted my law earlier. Because I'm a silly Billy. Where is it? Sorry, everyone. I think it's just, yeah. I mean, obviously it's random because that one says choose. But right. Future law display. Nope. Important rules. It's not in there. It's not that important. It's not a big deal. That's a joke. It's quite important. I just want to decide what are and are not the important rules. Alright. End of the game. That's fine. That's fine. Where are the laws? Come on. There's... Here we go. Right. So... take the 2 consequences cards, choose one at random, and shuffle it in. Yep, exactly right. Thank you, Difter, as well, for helping out. So that was law number 2. So here are the 2 law consequence cards that should have been added. I will leave these up here to remind myself that this is what I should have been doing. We go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. A few more flips until we have no idea which one's which. And then we take one and pop it in there, and we'll shuffle that later. The other one can go back up there. We don't get to know which one that is, because it would tell us what the other one is. I haven't actually looked at any of them, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, so let's have a look here. We just got 3 more engineers, which is not ideal. But that's fine, I guess. So... Right, so I mean the obvious first move is to send a worker out here. That's going to be another sickness, which is bad, but we do get many more resources, which is good. And now we can spend 4 coal. Do we get a meaningful amount of heat from 4 coal now? Probably not. 1, 2, 3, 4. We've just heated the red buildings. That's grim. That's super grim. Is that worth it? I suppose so. We can't really afford a huge amount more sickness this round. That would be bad. What we need to focus on this round is building the wall drill. So we need another 3 wood. That's disastrous because it's all spread out all over the place. Oh no, we've got the sawmill. That's fine, actually. It's not great, but it's not terrible. 2 more steps up gets us most of what we need in terms of heat. So I guess we have 1 more sick worker, which is bad. Um, and we get 2 more coal, which is 2 more steps up over here. Sorry about that. I just put them out here. And now we can send this person over here, which is not going to make them sick because of the heat we've just generated. So that gives us 3 more wood. And if we send this person over here, we get the steam core. That is going to make them sick, though. I don't see a way to avoid that. So I've added a sickness there, and then now we've got exactly what we need. I should not be putting these back in the supply. I just think now we've got exactly what we need to build a wall drill. We've got 5 wood and a steam core. And then do we just build the wall drill? I guess we don't really need to build anything else. Yeah, I think we just build the wall drill and trigger the hothouse, and call that a round. So, 1 engineer. Do we have any cards that can help us improve this? Oh yeah, what we should do actually is... Yeah, okay, we'll do this then, I think. Because what we don't really want is for an engineer to die. Well, no, how bad are the... Do I have any, I've got quite a lot of cards in here in my hand I can ditch, actually. So I'll explain. Maybe you'll get to see how someone dies now, at least. So let's use an engineer to... I've had dinner and watched another live feed, and you're still surviving. Good. Yeah, I mean, it's not good, Steven, but it's... Oh, there's the wrong camera. But it's not bad. So here's an engineer going over to the build action. And we're going to build the wall drill over here. So there is all of that, and this gone too. I just think we need to do the wall drill for our own, for the future, you know. Where is the wall drill? Is it this? Nope. Is it this? What does it look like? Is it this? No. They could have labeled this tray a little more clearly. Is it this? It is this. You can build 2 wall drills? So you can. Except there's only 1 wood. Anyway, here we go. There's the wall drill. There's only 1 wood on the outside of the board. I suppose you might have a different distribution. Anyway, this worker... Oh, no, I can't use the hothouse and the medical post. This is a disaster. No, I need to send this worker over here to to this place. Oh, but then we're going to starve again. Okay, do I need to build the wall drill this round? The only risk of not building it this round is that... Because I'm not going to use it this round. So the only risk to not building it this round is we lose a bunch of resources and then we're really stuffed. No, I think we actually have to wait to build the wall drill. Shit. It's fine. It's fine. I need to go off on this expedition, though, because I'm going to fall behind, and also I don't have anywhere for that person to sleep anyway. At least we've got the resources. Please don't have a dust card take them all away, is all I can say. That's fine then, because then we have an engineer to go over to the hothouse to get us the 7 food, which puts us up to 12. And then we can go over here to the cure post. And then the question is, do we try to save the life of a worker at the cost of 1 anger on the discontent track? I think, yes, we probably do. So we play into the... Oh, it's 3 food. Is that going to make a difference? No. 3 food for us currently would be the same as 2. So we play this card here to go into the infirmary, which is... you can spend 3 food to cure... Oh, no, to cure 2. That's not what I want. This is what I want. Oh, that's fine, actually. We don't even need to spend any food. That's perfect. Perform the building's cure effect, treat 1. So we spend this to go into there. We cure 3. So we can send the engineer down 1, 2, 3. So they're not going to die. And then we can treat 1, which means we just flip that back to the syringe side. That's good. At least that worked out. And that's our citizen card and all of our actions. So that's the end of that. Right. Done. Sorry. Wrong button. Here we go. Now we need to resolve a dusk card. So. Don't worry, storm is coming. Yeah, the storm is going to be an absolute disaster, Difter. I'm not looking forward to it because I don't have any capacity to... Oh, we've got one more sick engineer coming in, though, before we apply. Oh, that's so annoying. It's fine. There's not much we can do about it. No, not unless we get one hope off of one of these cards. Well, I will pick this one. I will pick our fate this time. The prophecy is tested! The visions haven't stopped, and neither have her demands. Oh my god, this is just going on. Her words undermine all authority. This is madness. They're both to be banished immediately. Lose an engineer and a child. And then if you do not have active justice, +1 anger. I actually do have active justice. So that's not the end of the world, to be honest. Number 2. People drink the words from her lips. Previously devoid of hope, they now cling to her like children. Lose 2 resources. Place this card in the event display. Dusk phase. Spend 2 food if you cannot -1 hope. No. That's fine. This is madness. Banish them. I don't want to. I don't like this story. It's not very nice. But I can't afford to lose those resources. I need that wall drill. What I can afford to do is lose 1 child and 1 engineer. So the child goes down to 10, and the engineers go down to 12. Yikes. I don't understand. The prophet's mother was educated. So how did they get so delusional? Difter, nice guess, 3. But you're too... Thank you for actually making a guess. I didn't expect that from you. So I picked my own card. Good. That's the child prophet comes to an end. Right. So now we do hunger. So we can decrease hunger down to 0, and we're left with 1 food. But now we have to feed the citizens. This round we're feeding the engineers. There are now 12 of them. So hunger goes back up to 12. So this is the end result. We still have kind of got a hunger problem, and we're going to need to feed the people again soon, which is 27 food. Don't know how we're going to get... Oh, we can visit the hothouse twice. I forgot you can do the hothouse twice. Oh, the big buildings can be used twice. That's right. Don't forget that. It's really important. No one's shoveling any coal yet, Stephen, but they are all sick. So, you know, I've saved them from a life of hardship only to deliver a life of medical concern. I don't know if it's a good thing. Anyway, right. Everyone gets to go back into the middle. At least these spent citizen tokens are gone. So that's good. We have just enough beds for everyone still, which is good. Because someone's off on an adventure, so we don't have to sleep them. So, there we go. Just about managed that for now. Back to the top of the next round. And this moves on to the development token. So that's good. We've got a new thing, which is this coal thumper technology. So that's good. So that gets to come down here on the white side to show that we've got the coal thumper technology. And we can start now with... I think we should take the nutritional education. I think the wall drill will solve our wood issues, so we don't need the steam-powered chainsaw. So we'll get nutritional education, which means a child can use the cookhouse. I think that learning about nutrition and food is a good use of the child's time. Steven says, after this, you should break out Robinson Crusoe or Final Girl. I actually want to do a Final Girl live stream. I have been playing it a bit, and I think it'd make a fun live stream. I don't actually have Robinson Crusoe anymore. I did have the original game, but I've given it away to a friend because I backed the new Kickstarter with all the fancy bits. So I'm quite excited for that. So we might have to do that when it shows up. In the meantime, we are now on round 6, so this goes on to round 10. The good news is, I've made it to round 6. So if I survive this round, I will have exceeded Paul's expectations. Although I think that everything is quite delicately in the balance at the moment, so we will see. But, you know, that's good at least. So now moving on to the morning phase. The morning card is, you are dead. You've died. Oh, come on! This is Triple L. Do you want a copy of this game? I don't want to play this anymore. A citizen has been brutally murdered. One citizen dies of the current round's type, which is an engineer. Oh my god. This is just horrible. Let's make this public as a warning for our citizens, but don't investigate as we have more important issues at hand. Hopefully it won't happen again. +1 discontent. Add this card to the dusk deck. Steven says, I backed the Kickstarter. Oh, for Robinson Crusoe or Final Girl? Diff just says, this is great. Let's keep it a secret and make it look like a work accident. We can't afford to waste more resources on this. Okay. I do have active justice. It's the only hope token I have active, but it's good. If you have active justice, let's make this public as a warning for our citizens and investigate. We can't allow it to go unpunished. +1 hope. Place 1 spent worker token in the supply and add 26 to the dusk deck. Yes, we must investigate. So... but first, 1 citizen dies of the round's type. So that is a engineer. Now, here's a quick question. I know everyone's gone to bed, so I'm just going to tell you what I'm looking up, basically. But when a worker... I actually don't know if this is true now. Let me just check. Basically, when a citizen dies of sickness, the sickness token goes down. But I don't think that's true of when they die of other causes. When one of your citizens dies, follow these steps. Yeah, but that's if they die from sickness, I think. Move the corpse track marker up. Move the corresponding citizen marker down 1 space. If the corresponding sickness marker is on a higher position, or if the citizen died due to sickness. Right, so it does clarify. That's fine. We don't have to move the sickness marker then. Because not all the engineers are sick. At least this doesn't reduce our engineer worker count. That would be truly awful. As it stands, this goes down by 1 because a engineer has died. Also, this corpse marker goes up to 2, and now I must discard either a card from my hand that... or reveal a card from the deck that has a... So you'll see all of the citizen cards have a death resolution on the bottom, and you can see the 3 death resolutions along the bottom there. 1 for dead workers, 1 for dead engineers, and 1 for dead children. And we have to implement these rules. But we can. So obviously, discarding 1 from your hand, not ideal, because these are good cards. You want to keep them and play them. But flipping 1 over from the deck runs the risk of the random implementation of the rule being bad. So the thing is, of the outcome being unknown, right? You flip 1 over, you don't know what's going to happen. So -1 hope, for example, for a dead engineer is actually pretty good. So playing this, it's not so bad. But... the rest of these, yeah, so exhaust, care, -1 hope. This is actually not too bad. I actually think getting rid of this one wouldn't be too bad because I don't have an active care. Most of them are -1 hope. This one's exhaust. This card, though, I don't think is especially useful. It's not bad. It lets me use the infirmary with a worker instead of an engineer, which is pretty good. But then the repercussions of the death outcome here is exhaust care and -1 hope, which I'm kind of okay with because I don't have active care at the moment, and they're all -1 hope. Triple L says, thanks for the stream. I'll stick to my 2.6/5. I don't get it. I don't get it. So I think we have to lose a hope token because I want to. I don't want to lose. I don't want to exhaust this because I want to pull that outcome on the card. So I have to lose this. That goes away, and now we can enact the third part of this because we still have active justice, which is +1 hope. So I'm going to just pull a token right back out the bag because I want to keep hope tokens higher than discontent, just in case I pull that social discomfort here. So here we go. It is care. I mean, I must. That's fine. So +1 hope. Put a spent worker. So this round we're not going to have access to one of our workers. That's, I guess, not great, but it's not the end of the world. And add dust card 26 to the deck. So that one's done. And dust card 26 comes out of here. Here it is. That is 26 into the deck. There it goes. Okay, so that's that resolved. And now it is time for the next phase. That's the morning phase done. God, was that just the morning phase? All right, now we're doing the generator. So if we could fuel the generator, I would. So now I'm going to get another second engineer, which really sucks because we're going to get a dead engineer. But what can I do? I can't get one more heat. Oh my god. It's fine. Don't even worry about it. Did I play a citizen card last turn? I did. I used the medical post, didn't I? I used the medical post and I flipped over the worker token. So I'm going to give myself another little backseat here, guys, because I forgot how to do math. But I'm just going to swap those. Remember, I got to flip over one token? We'll save the engineers just because I forgot that I was going to get another sick engineer right here. And so I'm just being kind to myself because this is really hard. I hope you don't mind these minor backsies. I don't think they're too egregious. I haven't got any new information that's really affecting my decision making. It's a lot to focus on. I'll get better at it, or I won't. Anyway, now we're putting 4 more cubes into the generator. Let's see if it explodes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, 4 come out here, we're fucked. I mean, oh my god, it's 6. It's so many. Right, the generator's gonna explode now. Oh my god. This game. Come on, man. Oh, come on. Let me just get to round 7 so I can prove to Paul that I'm not a complete failure at this game. Oh my god. I actually don't know what happens now. Wait. So, drop coal, place cubes into the drawer, check the generator breakdown, and reset the heat marker. Right, so I don't actually know what happens now. The generator's going to break down because we have 8 or too many tokens out. I've not actually had to do this yet. I managed to stop this. I managed to die before this happened last time. Um, right. So let's have a quick look here at generator phase. Right. Generator breakdown. So this flips over to the other side to show that the generator has broken down. Oh, and I should have also applied the sickness, shouldn't I? So I should have... Sorry, I should have actually moved this up already to the 5th position. There we go. My bad. Alright, now back down to this. So that flips over to the generator broke down side. If this happens again, we just straight up lose the game. Advance the cold marker one space on the heat track. Why, when you fail, does everything get harder? I mean, that's just what we call a negative feedback loop. And all three... And all of these move up as well. Oh my god. Okay. Return all the stress cubes back to the bank. And that's it. No, Steven, I didn't get to use that card. But I had 4 spaces left here. So I was just kind of hoping that I would get like 4 cubes and then use the 8 card to get rid of a whole bunch. I've also been very short on actions because I'm just not very good at this game. It's only my 2nd try. Apparently it's really hard. It is really hard. And also, there was a murderer that came out of nowhere. Anyway, that's the end of that. So, we've done the generator phase. Now into the weather phase. Oh, great, good. More awful terribleness. Right. Show me the weather card for the round then, please. Oh, everything's advancing again. Hey, at least we get 3 expedition and some food. So, we're going to get one more step up here, one more step up. I mean, I can't possibly... Oh, this should also drop back down to 0. I can't ever get up here. This is outrageous. At least we got that coal thumper technology, right? Yeah, 2 coal. We're going to get 2 coal. Okay, and then we get 5 food, which is, you know, better than a kick in the teeth, I guess. Why do I not have anything looking at that? I need another scene over here so I don't have to keep dragging this back and forth. Right, so 5 food puts us up to 6 food. And then... we will, what will we do next? Right, and then it's the, exploration. So, the card is here, it's advanced 3, so we get to go 1, 2, 3. So that's good. At least we're making our way to Winterholm to find out what happened there. It's probably going to be a bunch of hungry people going, hungry, starving people, cold people going, hey, can we come to you because we're hungry and cold? And it'll be like, no, we're hungry and cold and sick, and there's a murderer. So, you know, it's bad luck, sorry. And then move the storm marker, right? So the storm marker is moving 1. So this is now going to trigger next round, and all of my tents are going to go kaput. So I need to do makeshift shelters this round, and then I still need to do some more stuff. Someone on BGG forum said they had an easy time with this. They've got to be fibbing. I don't know, man. Like, you know, maybe some people just have a natural knack for managing all these systems. I don't know. Maybe they got really lucky with the cards. It's possible, I guess, but... yeah, I mean, it's not an easy game. I think that, you know, despite the enormous amount of luck in the game, one thing I will say is I do feel like my first play taught me lessons I've been able to implement in this play to do better. So there is a level of skill and implementation. I'm a little concerned that when that there is an amount of simply learning the cards, which I don't think is particularly fun in terms of sort of skill progression. Um, you know, and I'm concerned that some of the other scenario cards and the weather cards and things that might come out, the storm cards that might come out, would require you to play for sort of 4 hours to learn a bunch of cards and then just lose miserably. That's a concern. But for what it's worth, there was an amount of learning I did in my first play that taught me lessons that are just purely skill-based that I have been able to implement here to do better at the game. You know, largely sort of learning about the buildings and how to prioritize the buildings and sort of manage the different systems. Because ultimately, this is just kind of managing tracks, so nothing escalates wildly out of control. But this game is hard, Quinn. The game is really hard. Like, and if people are telling you it's easy, maybe they're just really good at this kind of stuff. They've played a lot of this kind of game. But I don't think it's an easy game at all. Or maybe, you know, the thing is as well, like, some people just like to, like, you know, you've seen me do a few little backsies in this game. Generally speaking, I'm extremely hard on myself when I play these sorts of games. But, you know, no backsies and no sort of fudging of things. But some people, you know, when they play on their own, they don't like to be that hard on themselves, and they will just fudge something, or if they draw a card they don't like that's random, they'll just draw a different card, you know, and that's fine. You know, if that's how you want to enjoy the game, I don't think there's any problem with that. But a lot of people sort of internalize this sort of more forgiving backseat system when they solo play, whatever sort of maximizes their personal enjoyment. And so maybe that's what's happened, Stephen. Someone's just sort of being very forgiving with themselves, and they've internalized it so much that they're not really conscious of it. You know, but I don't know. Either way, it's not an easy game. It's really hard. Speaking of which, what am I doing? Weather phase, right? Yes, we've done the weather phase, I think. Yes, I just did the storm marker. That's the last thing we do. So we're moving on to the preparation phase, right? Can't use my advisor. Resolve mark. Oh, yeah. Okay, so I've managed to stop death with my one little backseat that I gave myself, but we're gonna have a lot of death. No, I haven't. I'm gonna lose a worker. That's right. So that's fine. This is going to flip over, so we need to cure the engineers. This is going to flip over, and a worker dies. So that goes down. This comes up over here. This comes up to 3, so we need to build a graveyard or something as well before that gets out of hand. And now a worker dies. So let's have a quick look at what I've got in my hand. Yeah, let's get rid of Olivia Care Bear, because her ability is not especially useful, I don't think. And it's just -1 hope. And so the question is, do we exhaust justice or lose a hope token? Am I going to get a hope token back this round is the question. I just want to keep hope 1 higher than discontent in case we pull that social discord card. I'm just trying to think if I'm going to enact a law this round to see. Oh, I keep knocking this beacon over. I should have built the beacon up there instead of right in front of my hand. I think the radical treatment is the care house is quite good. It's cure 2 and then flip up all your care. And it gets us another care. So maybe we can find... Yeah, okay, so let's drop... Oh, but we've got 2 care tokens. Very quickly, I'm just going to check out... I think it's 2 of each in the bag, right? Yes. Oh, no, there's 3 of each. Okay. So, I mean, the chances of us getting the 3rd care token are... limited, right? So what do we put back in the bag then? Yeah, let's maybe build the care house this round, and that's going to get us a chance to use our health advisor more, because sickness is getting a little bit bad. So let's get rid of the motivation token, and then we keep these 2, and that's going to make our care house even more effective when we make it. Could just remove the balloon. No, Difter, I bought these stupid miniature expansions, and I'm going to use the damn miniature expansions. And, you know, if we remove the beacon, then, you know, what hope do we have? The stupid beacon remains, okay? It must remain. Is it this camera? Is this the right camera? There we go. Look at that marvelous beacon. It can't even focus on it. It's too close. Or is it too far away? I don't know. There we go. Look at that. If we got rid of that beacon, then what was the point of buying the miniatures expansion, right? Looks like a boxing bag. It does. It looks like an upside down one of those like punching bags that people use for boxing training. Good. So, preparation phase over. Deaths accounted for. Good. Next phase. Action phase. Cool. Right. And with that, it's now 10 past 2, and I feel like this might be a good place to call this a stream. We're definitely not... I don't know if we're going to finish it. We might just lose immediately. We have this horrible storm coming, but I feel like we might still have at least a good hour before we lose, because the... I don't know if I want to come back for a part 2 and everything, the wheels just fall off everything, but I also feel like if I survive one more round, then the wheels are going to fall off the round. I think I've got 2 more rounds, probably. And I don't want to come back. I don't want to do one more round now and then it's not done. And it's probably going to be another hour. So I think what we'll probably do is call this a stream and come back and finish it probably on Friday. Either Thursday or Friday. We'll come back and we'll finish it. It'll probably just be an hour of everything falling apart, but that'll be fun to watch, right? Hey, look, if we can get to round 7, and I think we can, then we beat Paul's estimate. And that's... So, honestly, I have to say probably thanks to Paul for setting the bar so low. So low that we can do it. But if we get to round 8, I'll actually be pretty stoked. That's over halfway through the game. We've survived. If we get past that, even better. But I think that's probably getting a bit ambitious. But it really depends on what comes up, what cards have come up in the game. So, yeah, as Difter kindly points out in chat, this game is here today because the patrons asked for it. I mean, I backed it on Kickstarter, but they wanted to see it played, and so I've learned it and put it on because the patrons asked for it on the Patreon. And if you want to support this kind of content, we are pretty much completely independent. We do very little sponsored content on this channel, and almost none of the gameplay is sponsored. Up until this point, none of it has been sponsored, but I have the first and possibly only ever sponsored playthrough coming out quite soon. But we basically never do that. So this is all entirely funded through the Patreon, which is our preferred way to fund it. So if you even have if you even have $1 to throw our way, that would be greatly appreciated, and it will get you access to the Patreon and the Discord server that's coming soon, where I will be offering some pretty cool fun rewards. So please do consider it if you can, and if you can't, don't worry. I won't put pretty much any of this content behind the Patreon anyway. There's some cool content back there, like the Ready Steady Played videos are recorded live with the patrons, and then I release the edited version here. So, and there's usually a Q&A as well after the review, so I'll do the played reviews, and then you can sort of ask questions and stuff, and that's usually just for the Patreons, or the patrons on Patreon. So that's kind of a cool little thing you can do, as well as getting into the Discord, which is coming soon. So anyway, that's all I'll do for that. We'll come back on Thursday or Friday to finish this. I hope you're excited to see how it goes. I'm excited to see how much further we can make it, but at least we made it far enough to not completely embarrass ourselves. And by ourselves, I mean me. I made it far enough, with your help, to not completely embarrass myself. Thank you all so much for watching. And if you're not somehow subscribed and you haven't put a like on this video, please do that. It's completely free and it helps me out. So thank you all so much, and I'll see you all soon for the next video. Have a good night. Bye for now.